Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for steps. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Let me just start with this. Detroit basketball. What up, though, Matty Fresh, and what up, everybody else? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss, man. Hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend on this Friday night. Man, if you watch this game, I would imagine you are. But, boss, you tell me, how you feeling? How you feeling after this game? It's a crazy game.
Yeah, my heart rate's still coming down. You know, the final 7 minutes, the overtime, the last two minutes of the regular
regulation.
Regulation. Sorry, I'm still like shaking.
I know, you're good.
Yeah, kind of made up for a lot of mistakes. I'm looking at this box score now too, and there's a lot of positives in a game that was pretty negative, pretty stagnant, pretty rough to watch. But we pulled out the win, and I just got to give it to our guys for that grit. Like, they never gave up. I remember a few games ago at one of the live games, and I just wasn't willing to call it yet. And it's for reasons like this, even though we were so close, like the momentum made it seem like we weren't going to pull this off, and we did. So I'm very, very proud of them for doing that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm happy with the win. This was the longest, ugliest win I've seen in a long time. These are the games we used to lose.
Yeah.
Red Coach used to always say that 1468 season, he said Pistons found ways to lose. And now we are the best clutch team in the league, guys. We're finding ways to win. I would prefer not for games to go this way. Right. They don't have to, right? But a win is a win. Hopefully they can continue to learn from it. I want to get to this super chat from Doug, our guy too. Coming through, says 70 years old, young, with a strong heart till tonight. Bro, me too, bro.
Truly.
Man, this is crazy. My heart is jumping out of my chest after this game, man. But Doug, I appreciate you as always. Maddie, appreciate you as well. We see y'all in the chat, man. We see you guys in the chat. So if you guys, we miss you. So a lot of comments, we're going to get to many as we can. If we miss you, make sure you repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do, man. To get our attention, we will do the best we can to get to you guys. Boss, before we get into the craziness of this game, for the last time this month, do you want to get into our PSA?
Yeah, guys, this is the last game of February, which is crazy. This month flew by.
Yes.
So it's the last opportunity to donate through us the 50% of all Super Chat proceeds to the Isaiah Stewart Learning Center.
Shout out.
It's the after-school program that he co-founded with Dr. Benny Senior Green Senior, and he attended it himself when he was growing up in Rochester, New York. And it's a great program that just provides after school help and tutoring and hot meals and transportation and just community for kids through grades 1 through 12. So we've already, exceeded expectations as always. You guys are just such a great community. So
awesome.
It's small or big, it just means so much to us, and we know it means so much to Stu. I can't wait to add it all up and
talk to him and tell him,
send it to him. I'm very excited for that. So
so shout out to you guys, man. You guys have been great with your generosity, your support, showing love to Stu and his foundation, helping us give back the way he's given back to the city and to the organization and to those who are less fortunate. Just doing the right thing. We really appreciate you guys for sure, man. 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, so boss, let's go ahead and get into. I see Maddie's comment. I'm going to get into that as well. So let's talk, guys. Let's talk, man. So if you guys missed the game, I'm sorry for your loss if you did. But guys, the Pistons faced off against the Cleveland Cavaliers for the third time this season. They come out with a dub in crazy fashion. They win 122-119 in overtime in a very tough, ugly game, but they get the win. They improved to 44-14 on the regular season. And in lieu with Maddie Fresher's comment, guys, the Pistons already have matched their win total from last season.
Crazy.
Right, 44-38 last year, which is a huge improvement, a historical 30-game improvement from the year before. But this year, guys, they're taking it to a different level. 44-14. 44 wins, guys, with 24 games remaining already. So I just want to shout, aside from this game, I just want to shout the team out, everybody who's a part of this organization, the players, the coaches, the coaching staff, the training staff, everybody, for the wonderful job they have done with this team and turning this team around in record time, 2-year span. This is incredible. So I really want to shout the Pistons out for the work that they've done to get back to this point. Nobody thought we'd be at this point with 44 wins with 24 games to go, right? I mean, King says 60 wins. I got to give him credit because I thought he was crazy. He's the only one I heard say that. I said 50 wins, right? But I think we were in the same ballpark, but nobody saw this. So I just want to give them some love for sure. But back to the game. It's incredible stuff, man. It was really hard to watch this game. As far as the injury report, we were clean. Other than Stu not being available, he'll be back the game after next. But we're healthy aside from that. The Cavs, however, guys, are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Injuries or not injuries, whatever you want to call it. They didn't have a lot of guys playing tonight. They were missing Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Keon Ellis, Dean Wade, Max Strus. So a lot of their key guys were out. So much like last game, boss, the Pistons played a top team without a lot of their significant players. But the Pistons went with their usual starting five of Cade, Dunk, Asar, Tobias, and JD. And guys, the question about who wins the belt is going live as of right now. So you guys let us know, chime in who you guys think should get the belt tonight. A lot of candidates. So we'll make sure we'll check back on that as we get into this post game.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into. I think we got we have any super chats we got to get to?
Yeah, we got 3 super chats coming in.
Okay. Let's get to those first. Let's start with our guy Doug.
4 super
coming
chats.
Back 4, man. Y'all coming out hot. Hey, we appreciate y'all coming out with a bang for this last day for donations. We appreciate you guys. Yeah. Doug says, "Love Stu a few more, Sarah." Love you guys. Yeah, he gave us a lot of love last game. Stu,
always.
So he came right back. Right, always. Doug is always showing love. Doug is the OG. Been the Pistons fan for 60, I think, years. Been watching this team. So shout out to you. But appreciate you, Doug, as always, man. Appreciate you, brother. Real estate. What's going on, bro? Says Cade is an all-star for show. Not super. You don't think so? He's top 3 for MVP, bro.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
I'm not mad at you. Maybe you're saying as far as doing it long enough. Okay. But I think as far as his level of play, I think he's there. But I ain't mad at you, bro. Appreciate your super chat, man. Let's get to Dom. Our guy always showing love, man. Always showing love. Guys, Dom has been a regular with me since I first started. So I gotta show him some super love right here as he's showing us love. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you guys, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Stu's reaction when he sees, how much you guys have really helped us. But Dom, one of the most generous guys I know, man. Always showing love. We appreciate you, brother, for sure. So Dom, guys, says, last donation of the month towards Stu's foundation. We didn't deserve to win, but we found a way even with Cade fouling out. Made some free throws, and we won in regulation. Yes, bro. Yes. Kind of fell apart almost toward the end. Lastly, I really had issues with JB's rotations today, as I mentioned during the game. Boss, thoughts on what Dom has to say there? Anything on that?
I mean, again, I'll just reiterate, thank you so much.
Yes.
It means the world to us that we were able to, I mean, we can't donate with our community if we didn't have a community like you guys that are willing to donate to a good cause. So thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
I do agree as well. We didn't deserve to win. At the end is when I was kind of like, now we kind of do, because we have momentum. I want this crowd to get it, for our crowd, for our fans. Let's do it. The free throws were pretty rough. I agree with that. I think they were tired. I'm looking at, I didn't realize B-Ball Paul only played 11 minutes today. So
wow, really?
So JD
against this big team.
So JD, him and Cade kind of fell off with free throws later on, and of course we missed a few without the game, but that's just how we've been. But he really pulled it together. So, but I do agree with that. And the rotations to me were questionable as well. But then I looked at some of the box scores, and some of it makes sense now that I see it. But I still do think that they were iffy, but I'm not going to complain too much because overall his rotations pulled out a win for us in a game that we didn't think was winnable. So, but I do understand that. And I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to, we'll talk about it, but
I see both sides too. Yeah. It was during the game, like now that's over, I get a chance to have some perspective. Yeah. But during the game, I'm like, bro, what is going on with some of these rotations, bro? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. But truly, because I mean, Tobias Harris that we questioned at the end had 6 steals.
Tobias had 6 steals?
Yep. Right? Wow. So it kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So like it's hard when it's live. So there are some explanations why, but I do agree because Deuce and I throughout we talked about it. You were there, Don. Like we talked about like why isn't this person in? We should see this person.
Yep.
We saw Sass for the first time in a while, and he was, I think, pretty split. I'm gonna give him a 60-40 split because some crucial mistakes, but some also important, an important piece in some moments. So oh man.
Yeah. So Dom hit it. I appreciate you, and we agree, bro. Like, yeah, we're gonna get to it in full, but I had to shout you out, because you're always showing love, bro. Man, much love, bro, for sure. Mausher coming through says should have won by 20 against this depleted Cavs team. Little embarrassing, but a W is a W. I'm glad Jenkins could shut up his hate, bro. I 100% agree, man. First of all, I agree. This should have been a convincing Pistons win, right? We're gonna get to why and why we thought that, right, for 48-minute game, right? But I agree. It would have been even more embarrassing if we lost. That would have been bad. The same we were saying last game was against the Thunder. Like if you lose that game without those guys playing, it's not a good look. So same thing for the Cavs. Like you don't want to give these guys any more confidence than they may already have. Like as far as seeing a struggle like this isn't good for me because it's like with the Knicks, JD was out, Stu was out. It's like you guys struggled to win. You won, but we weren't fully staffed. So same thing for me with this game. It would have just been worse if we lost, right? So I agree with you, bro. W's a W, but I'm glad that Danis also, we're going to get to him too, was able to make some plays in this game to really shut up some of those haters because he hasn't played up to the level that we've seen him play throughout the season, right? So, not a perfect season from him, but he set a standard. That's the thing. He set a standard for how we want to see him play, so we want to see that maintained. Hasn't been there at times, but once again, he reminded us of why he earned that contract, and we'll get to that as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We got a few more.
Y'all are coming through with the super chats, man. We're gonna get to these real quickly, and then we'll get to the box scores. Let's see. Reb with the best avatar says, "I got to go to the game with my family, and we celebrated my birthday with the Pistons win." Hey, happy birthday to happy birthday, bro! Glad your Pistons got to win, especially on your birthday. Nice little cherry on top, bro. So we appreciate your super chat, bro, as always, man. And best avatar out right now. Every time I see that, I start laughing. It's hilarious. Yeah. All right. Real estate says this team needs Stu. Oh my God. We're going to talk about this in full, guys. If you have been following this channel for any amount of time, you know what I'm going to say about Isaiah Stewart, especially in games like this, against teams like this and rosters like this. So we'll talk about that as well, bro. But I think you are correct. Yeah. He comes back around and says, no Woo or YN Lil Ron late. I know. We were saying the same thing too, because they played great when they did play. So that was part of the rotations we were talking about. But once again, I agree again there, bro. So we'll get to that as well. Appreciate you as always, man. Philip says, I respect LeVert. Phenomenal athlete to be where he is in his career. Had a couple good spurts. His couple good spurts don't justify the bad spurts. I'd rather keep him for a locker room and in-game bench court. He hurts. Yeah. So there were times in this game where I felt like he was more of a negative than a positive. Right in this game, he always gives effort on defense, but some of the decision making at times, once again, just really didn't help us. Right. So I definitely agree with you, Philip, for sure. You guys are on point tonight, man. Like all of the comments that I'm seeing here are really on point because these are all things I have written down. So Philip, we're gonna get to that as well, bro. So we appreciate your super chat, man, as always. Doug coming back around says Magic number 18. Also, they matched last year's one. Yeah, bro. Yes, sir. We just put that graphic up talking about that as well. 24 games to go. Nobody saw that coming, Doug. For us to have 44 wins and 24 games to go is insane. Insane. So they're probably gonna hit that 60 win mark. They got to go 16-8 the rest of the way to get there. 2-1 basically the rest of the way. So that's going to happen, likely. And I agree, Doug. I agree, man. Magic number 18. So with some losses from, get some help from teams like the Celtics and Cavs and Knicks getting some L's and us getting some dubs, we should be just fine for sure. All right.
Yep.
So guys, another one just came in from PD Mac.
Awesome.
Y'all ain't playing tonight, man. I love it. I love it. PD Mac says, Stu is imperative to our rim protection and keeping guys out of the paint. Speaking my language. Oh, and we got a careless first signing. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, bro. It wasn't pretty. I'll just comment on the Stu stuff for now, because I agree with the careless stuff as well. Yeah, but yeah. Boss, I probably drove her crazy, and everybody who showed up for the live watch back probably drove y'all crazy too, beating that dead horse, saying stupid. We had stupid. So we'll get to that as well. You see the difference with him not being there defensively. So all right, guys, keep him coming, man. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, just real quick too. Yeah, keep them coming. But also just because, we have this amazing community. I just had to say I'm a Pistons fan because my stepdad grew up in Grosse Pointe.
Shout out.
And came into my life and I was able to watch games with him, fell in love with them. His family are all huge fans. My stepdad and mom live in Nashville now, but they are in Michigan this weekend. They are visiting for my stepdad's father, who is having some health issues. So if you guys could just, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. But
absolutely.
The fam is watching tonight. So I just had to say hi to my stepdad, Jason, my mom. We have a big family out there. So my grandma, Mary Sue, Grandpa Jim, of course, and Uncle John, Uncle Andy, Uncle Brian, and Jennifer. Yeah. Just thank you. I'm thinking of all you guys through this, and just
drop some prayer emojis. Thank you. Yeah, GVH. Yeah, drop some prayer emojis for the fam. For sure, guys.
The Pistons, when they, being able to watch the Pistons is a nice distraction, a nice break, having all together and stuff too. So glad that they pulled out a win so they can end the day on a happy note with what they're going through. So I just wanted to help them out and say hi and thank you to them for the support as well. I wasn't aware that they watched often, and so I found out about that today, and that just warms my heart. So
for sure, we got some prayer emojis. Kenyatta says thanks for the prayers. Kevin says best wishes. Ben says shout out to the whole family. Yeah, appreciate it, Ben, my guy. Damadavi, everybody's showing love, man. Everybody's showing love. So we appreciate that, guys. We appreciate the love that we showing to her family and things like that. We wishing the best for sure, boss.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all are great, man.
We're all showing love. I had to throw that.
Devon, I came in late, but praise up.
You guys.
I love it, guys. I love it. Appreciate it, Pop. All right, guys. Let's get to this game, man. Boss, I'm probably gonna miss some things. I was trying to take notes during the watch back, and every time I put my head down, I miss something. Real quick. What in the world was going on with that horn?
Yeah.
Let's just comment on that first, and then we'll get to some initial thoughts. Because guys, if you missed it, the sub horn went off. It was off for it went off for 12 minutes. It was just off.
It was a 20-minute delay over.
20-minute delay. Mm-hmm. It just kept buzzing for 12 minutes straight, and it was crazy watching it live. The players everybody had their ears covered. It was weird. It was random. They had to turn the whole scoreboard off and turn it back on. At one point, they had a little air horn every time somebody was subbing, and it was just a weird game. The whole event was just weird. If you guys were there and you had to endure that, at least you got a chance to see a dub as a result. Just unplug it, Flake Dog. Just unplug it.
That's what we were saying. Cut the cords.
Cut it. Abort, man. It was wild. All right, man. I just want to throw it in there, boss. Another super chat we got from Real Estate says, my thing with Cade not being a superstar. Okay, yeah, talk to me, bro. Just yet is when we play a team like OKC and Cavs, Cade is supposed to eat. Still haven't had 50 yet. I know he's a true point guard, but he has to take over when we flat know he can. Well, I mean, he's done that, I feel like, though. Late in games, I feel like he's really been clutch for us. We're the best clutch team in the league, and I feel like he's been the head of the snake. Even if he's not scoring, I hear you on the 50 ball, we're not built for him to get a 50 ball, though. You know what I mean? We're built for him to have in a crazy game, he's getting 35 and 15. He's not getting 50 and 5 because he's always going to make plays for other guys. He's just too good of a point guard. Like you say, he's a point guard. He's a point guard who can score just as well as he can pass. So I think more so you're going to see him in that, like in big games, 35 and 15 assists and 10 boards. He's one of those do-it-all guys. Like Ant-Man, for example, he's getting 50. He's not going to pass the ball. He's not really going to do other things. He's going to score. He's going to score. Guys like Luka, he's going to score. Jokic, he's going to score. He's going to facilitate too. But certain guys are just built differently. Cade, to me, isn't a 50-ball kind of guy. He can do it, but if he's getting the other numbers we're saying, 35 and across the board, to me, that's equal to a 50-ball. You know, this is kind of the same thing, in my opinion. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. And we get it. I kind of called because we had a debate about this in the preseason of like if he would get 50 or not. And I said yeah, because I think that there is going to be a moment for him to step up. He's gotten 42 and 43 points this season, but hasn't quite gotten there yet. But it's because he does share the ball. I do agree that like I think these games this week he struggled with some turnovers, struggled a little bit, but his shooting was on point tonight. Yeah. I think if he didn't foul out, he would have been able to take over. But I don't mind the foul outs, especially, you know, obviously when we can make a win and he's not fouling out super early. He fouled out kind of early in the fourth, but nothing crazy. But that just shows that he really is just playing on both ends. So I get it, but I think that's an argument for someone that maybe hasn't watched Cade as much as we have. I think when we see what Cade has been able to do and the control he has on the court, I think that's why Jenkins is so great because they play so similarly so that like it doesn't fall off. Because if we didn't have Jenkins, who knows how those last few minutes would go. Both him and Cade are very good at just directing the court. But I do agree that there were some, you know, mistakes that he's made lately. But this was a hard week for us for some reason. It's not the trend. I know it's getting harder and harder as we go on. And this is a big rough. And of course, we don't want to see a decline as we get closer to playoffs. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think we just, you know, good teams lose to bad teams all the time. And the fact of the matter is that we were able to pull out some of these wins, even when they were ugly. And that's something we couldn't do before, which is what you just mentioned earlier. So
right. But I hear you, bro. I just think it's going to look a little bit different for Cade when he has those monster games because of how he's able to be effective in so many different ways. Like if he's only scoring, I'm a little concerned. If he's got 50 points and four assists, you know, 3 boards, if he's only focused on scoring, then that means a lot of our guys who rely on him to to score, how involved are they? You know, so that's my only thing. But I hear you. I see both sides of it. But I appreciate your comment, bro, as always, man. Yeah. All right, boss. Now, initial thoughts. Let's get to it.
I know we got a lot. So, and I think a lot will be more personalized as well. But initial thoughts, I'm so glad we pulled it out. This game ended up being, you know, it was a bad game. It started off okay. We weren't necessarily playing bad defense, but they were able to go on runs and we were able to go on runs. There were a bunch of lead changes, a bunch of ties. We just kept it kind of even with the team. And look, like, yeah, you can say, but they didn't have their stars, but we've beaten them with their stars too. So, you know, these are NBA players and it's going to be tough. And you would think, you know, I was hoping coming into the game, I was like, let's make this the best game of the week. And it wasn't by far. The way the game was trending, I didn't really have anything optimistic to say about learning. But then towards the end, we pulled it out and it was a learning opportunity for these guys. You know, Jenkins hitting 3 free throws. Like if you guys were watching the live, I was hiding behind my eyes. That's what I do when we're not live. I can't take it. And so the fact that we were able to pull it out, I give these guys so much credit. Now that I know that JD played 41 minutes, I give him so much credit to, even though he was tired and he was slowing down, when it really mattered, he pulled it out. It ended up being a learning experience again for a lot of these guys, which is what we have talked about. So I'm hoping that this trend of us kind of not looking like Pistons basketball doesn't continue. But I think it also just goes to show, like, yeah, Stu's a rim protector and he's not necessarily, but like he does have an effect on our perimeter shooting and he does have an effect on our offense and our transition offense. Like Stu does have an effect on the court for us that just overall helps the team to play their game. He's been a part of our scheme for years now. So I'm not going to say it's all on him, but I definitely think that once we get him back, a couple of things will even back out again. So, yeah.
I feel you. I got a lot on this one. There are 3 keys for me for this game that I kind of came away with that really like stood out. The first thing for me is the slow starts. Like tonight, I want to see the Pistons come into this game, unlike they did last game against another shorthanded good team, is just put your foot down early. Right, just jump on them early. We always say hit first. Be the team to initially set the tone of this game. Right, come out, show you the better team, show all the guys who are in street clothes that they are needed in order for their team to beat us, right? Or to even compete with us. So we didn't really do that last game against the Thunder. We didn't do it. We didn't come out strong. We were a little lackadaisical. So I was hoping they would learn from that and just come out a little bit stronger than that in a win and still be able to learn in a win. It didn't happen. Tonight it was the same thing, boss. Slow start. Again, defensive lapses in this game. Really concerning. I wanted the approach to be the same as if the Cavs were at full strength. So, I mean, listen, the playoffs guys are not far away. We're 24 games away from from starting the playoffs. So, despite the opponent, I want to see good habits. Regardless of who's playing on our side or theirs. I want to see us building consistent habits heading into this stretch run. Last game, we didn't do that. Last game, we got down 12 points in the first quarter to end the quarter. So, in the same thing tonight, we got down. We just really didn't bring the intention. We were trading baskets, just weren't really getting to what we want to get to as far as transition offense with our defense. Like, the Pistons could have lost this game easily. I really thought they were going to lose this game, to be honest. The sluggish approach to start the game, the perimeter defense wasn't great. Too many offensive rebounds given up. Just a lot. Even Kenny Smith at halftime was talking about just the lapses they were having and things like that. But that was the first thing for me, is just that they didn't really come out with the intensity I was hoping to see. The second thing was the shooting, the Pistons shooting. Once again, they did not shoot the ball well. I think tonight as a team from 3-point range, they shot overall 6 for 27 from 3. That's tough.
Yeah, not good.
That's tough, right? So despite that, we were still able to hang in this game. But even our snipers, but our guys who we can rely on to be pretty respectable shooters couldn't knock down shots. Duncan Robinson struggled. A lot of guys struggled just shooting the ball. Wide open shots just missed. That was the second thing. And the third thing, boss, was just that Isaiah Stewart was missed. Isaiah Stewart was missed in this game because our interior defense was not recognizable in this game. It was crazy. Kenny Smith at halftime kept saying, he kept saying, who's going to be the secondary defender? They were showing the film. He kept saying, secondary defender, where's the helper? Who's the guy that's helping the helper? Where's the backside defense? It just wasn't there. You saw Evan Mobley coming in, dunking the ball on numerous occasions. You saw all of these layups at the rim without any backside help. There was nobody helping the helper. When you see JD come over to help, nobody had his back. It was just too many easy buckets. And when that happens, you're taking the ball out the rim and you can't get out and run, which is what the Pistons want to do. So that's why I've been saying all year, guys, I want to see Isaiah Stewart start. This is why I'm saying that. It's because he is going to help us be able to do what we do best. Get out in transition, because he's gonna help us, pretty much hold them to one possession. You're not going to see a ton of offensive rebounds. He's going to play great defense on the perimeter and in the interior. It just helps all around. So we're just not big enough against teams like the Cavs who have two bigs. They always have two bigs. They got Mobley, they got Allen, and they got Bryant off the bench. They always have two of those three guys in the game at all times, unless there's foul trouble. And that was what happened. We saw when Jared Allen fouled out and we got to overtime and they had to have Tyson play the 4. Now it's more level. Now you can play Tobias against Tyson because those guys are similar in build. But when you got Tobias trying to go against Jared Allen and Mobley, you're just not big enough.
Yeah.
You're just not big enough. And you saw the help side defense was just not there. And when it's not there, you can't get out and run because you're not getting stops. So for me, this game, more than any other game I've seen in a long time, was why I think Isaiah Stewart should start. This game, like through his suspensions, this one stood out the most when it came to why a guy like Isaiah Stewart needs to be alongside Jalen Duren to start games and to finish games, in my opinion, boss. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's exactly, we talked about it even in the beginning of the season, is that when we were talking about a potential two big lineup and how we would like to see it, the Cavs were the first team to come to mind in terms of what we, what we wanted for a matchup. Like, where would a two big matchup be beneficial? And it would be against the Cavs and theirs. And so again, that would have happened tonight. And there were moments that I was hoping that they would bring B-Ball Paul in for that. Yeah. He must have, just really not had good assignments or something for JB to bench him like that.
How strange.
Yeah. And again, we'll probably find out more, but we can't focus too much on it because we don't know the whole story, but we can talk about, why we question certain players on the court at certain times. That's fine. But we don't know everything. But But yeah, like you said, all those points were just super valid. And despite falling, despite it not being easy, we're still winning. And this is kind of my point too, is like, we do need better offensive shooting. This is a glaring issue, but yet we're still winning games. I think that we wouldn't win more games with another offensive shooter, but it would definitely be easier. It wouldn't come down to clutch. It would, help. It would help us win those games. So that's, obviously what we're hoping to find. And, JB tried a couple of different things tonight with like Sass. LeVert didn't play any clutch moments. Like he tried some different things that at least makes me happy. That was a complaint earlier on, is that JB just refuses to try something new. And he did tonight. And so I have to give him props for that as well. That's and again, like the lineups that ended up being in won us the game. So I will say that was just super impressive. But those are, I think you covered it all for initial thoughts. And I'm just obviously thrilled for everybody that attended the game, for the fans, for us. Like, I'm thrilled we were able to pull off that win, because it was not looking good.
Yeah, it wasn't. And just to circle back, boss, to the 48-minute piece, just as far as playing, starting games the way you finish games, because you saw the level of intensity go way up in the fourth quarter. We saw it in times in the second quarter where it picked up too, but it went way up in the fourth. The desperation they played with, right? I wasn't there early. And the thing about it is this, because we saw the Pistons go down 13 early in this game, just like last game, went down 12. They were able to get that lead down to 2. And even though they were undersized, and we talked about, we're still in the impact, they still were able to cut it down just because they played harder. They crashed the glass a little bit harder. They boxed out a little bit crisper. They just played harder, more urgency. And so that's what allowed them to be down only 4 after being down 13 at the end of the in the first quarter. They gave up 35 first quarter points, boss. Only 19 in the second. And it was all we were talking about during the game. Like, if we get stops, we can get outscored. It seemed like every time in the second quarter, when we got a stop, we were able to get out and run. And we more times than not got a score. Right. So it was just, and in the playoffs, boss, you're not going to be able to get away with this. In the playoffs, you're not going to be able to get down and rely on your bench, rely on your depth to be able to get you back into games. Because in the playoffs, everybody's good. In the playoffs, everybody realizes you only get 7 cracks at this at most. At most. So you can't have games off. You can have bad shooting games, but you can't have bad effort games. You can't have slow mental starts. You can't do that. Some teams, you can lose the game in the first quarter if you allow a team to jump on you. You're not, you may turn it up, but that team on the other side is more talented than the teams you're seeing in the regular season. So it's like, you may lose the game in the first quarter. So it's just like tonight, thankfully they were able to get back into the game, but you can't afford to get down like this in the playoffs and think you'll be able to just come right back, because teams they're playing just as hard as you are. They're as locked in as you are. They want this game just as bad as you do. And with the talent being similar in the playoffs, it's going to come down to, are you going to be able to do enough? Are you going to be able to out-talent them and out-effort them if they allow you to? But in the playoffs, they usually don't. So I'm concerned about it. We got the dub. I'm just concerned about these starts, because you got to play as close to 48 as possible in every game in the playoffs, boss.
Yeah, like someone mentioned, maybe it's just playing down in the competition. No matter how much you say, maybe in the back of your head, you realize that they're out without their 2 stars. But we've seen it. We've seen it firsthand, what young, hungry guys can come do and what they do to a team. Like, they can still win. Our bench has done it themselves. But I do agree with you. I think for me, the biggest thing is that we need the stars need to be good, but then some of our guys that are in our 10-man rotation, like Jenkins, like Duncan, they need to find their group again. This has just been an off week for everyone. So for us to, again, have an off week and still win is great. And like I said, I think it's just a little bit of a slump, and they're going to snap out of it. Like they usually do. We don't see it often. And like you said, we would see these games and we would lose them in the past. Like, we were able to pull it out, big moments. And someone said it earlier as well. It was big moments. This one from Allen. As frustrating as the effort was, I think games like this will help us in the playoffs big time in the clutch. Exactly. It ended up turning into a game that does help us, when it was a game that was kind of like, you deserve to lose. And the last 7 minutes, they showed that they deserve to win. So, so I will give them that for sure.
That's true. That's a good point. You can always find positives out of dubs, right? Just make sure you're cleaning these mistakes up, so that way you don't continue to make them. And we know this is a young team.
Exactly.
We understand that.
And
Yeah.
this Pistons team knows it themselves. You see the frustration on their faces. You see Cade out there frustrated. Jenkins misses a shot and he gets frustrated. B-Ball Paul misses assignment, his hands are in his head. Like they know what they're supposed to do and they get frustrated within themselves. So, but again, like it's always like a little bit concerning when it's 3 games in a row that you're just like, this isn't our game. What are we doing?
Right.
But we'll see. I think once Stu's back as well, and again, we are now 5-1 without Stu.
Yeah,
very impressive.
5-1.
Yeah,
100%. The last thing I'll hit on, we're a really good clutch team. We know that we're the best clutch team in the league. Tonight, that was not indicative until we pretty much got to the last few minutes of the game in overtime.
Had to be
because the Pistons kept finding ways to give this game away. Man, we missed 4 big free. JD missed 2 free throws in a row. And Cade missed 2 free throws in a row right after that. And we were down 7. The game was right there in the balance. And even though we still were able to get back into it, we did everything we could to lose this game without losing it.
True.
So, once again, we'll get to the good too, right? Because those guys, especially JD, did some great things late in this game. We'll get to that. But you got to make your free throws late in games if you want to have a shot to win in the playoffs. Because every possession matters. Every point matters. So you really got to take advantage and, knock those down. But we'll get to the details of that as well. But I just wanted to cite that too, because there was times late in the game I was like, bro, just make your free throw. If you hit the free throws, this game is tied. We're in this game. So we'll leave that there, boss, on the initial thoughts, and then we can get to the box scores. First, I want to get to some more super chats.
Yes,
and we'll keep it pushing. We appreciate y'all coming through, man. Major tonight. Alan Graham, what's up, Alan? Alan said this game had playoff level intensity. It did have the intensity. It just didn't have the execution.
It had the intensity at the end. At the
end, right? At the end,
the halfway through the fourth quarter. Otherwise, it was kind of a bore. It was. Yeah. But I do agree that they turned on when the intensity picked up and it was crunch time and it was needed. That's what I want to see in the playoffs. Of course, is just like a team that does not give up. They don't give up. They were up by. And we'll talk about it, but they were up by what 7, 8
with a couple minutes to go.
Star we got a steal and Tobias dunked, and Asar stole it and got it. Like it was looking done, and they took that momentum and they ran with it. And that's huge. Some teams might have just been like, "Oh, good job. We're not playing well this whole game, so I don't expect anything." But they were like, "No, we're gonna go out and win this."
They kept fighting. They kept fighting for sure. So I appreciate what you're, Alan, for sure. It wasn't tense at the end. I just need them to keep that up throughout the whole game, and they'll be in much better spots to where they're probably not in close games like this. When they don't need to be. So appreciate you, Alan. Lily J says we will be better at defending the threes. He allows the perimeter defenders by cleaning up anything he gets. Oh, do you mean JD? I think she means JD will be better at defending the threes. He allows the perimeter defenders by cleaning up anything he gets in the paint. JD was great tonight, if that's what you're saying. I thought JD was really, really good. Early on, some guys weren't staying attached on 3-ball. Like I think Asar kind of got lost on Sam Merrill a few times early in this game, just kind of over helping and hedging a little bit too far, giving up open threes. So that's something I'm watching too, is just the perimeter defense. We know tonight the interior defense was not there. It was just not where we needed to be, partially because of Stu, partially because of the effort. Okay, you missed. Oh, okay. So let me read that again, Lily.
Stu wasn't here.
Stu will be better at defending the threes. He allows the perimeter defenders by. Okay, yes, exactly, 100%. He's an anchor. He's an anchor for sure. Go ahead, boss.
I mean, that just goes into your point too about like because JD had to defend the perimeter because his assignment was basically Mobley. If they switched off him, plus it was Asar's assignment. And so then when they had Allen in, it's like, well, what do you do? And that was part of the issue. It's why I also like when Allen didn't foul out, I also still would have liked to see B-Ball Paul in there with him for one of them. So that is so true because that's why that's why Mobley was able to shoot as many threes and make as many threes as he did. Because he doesn't have to be the big at the rim. Right. That's Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen, when he was on the perimeter, he didn't have to. You don't guard Jarrett Allen on the perimeter because he doesn't shoot
like that.
They had a little bit of a break. They pressured him. They pressured him on the pass. They tried to get steals. But you're just like that's when you can just kind of let him back off him a little bit. And if Mobley's behind, Mobley should be the guy that you're on. But but it just goes into your. Argument.
And Tolu was available, right? Like we could have won with B-Ball Paul along with JD and had Tolu still there to back him up, right? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, I agree with you, boss. Fats Kim Fats Kism, my bad. Fat Kism says, blessings for the whole Pistons fan. Blessings to you as well. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for sure, guys. All the love is great, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Keep it coming, man. We appreciate it. All right, boss. Let's get to some box scores, and then we will keep this pushing. Let's start with Cade Cunningham, guys. So tonight, guys, in this game, Cade Cunningham finished with 25 points on 11 for 21 shooting, 0 for 3 from 3. Couldn't find his 3-ball. 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Those 2 free throws were the ones that he missed at the end of the game. 10 boards, 7 assists, 4 turnovers, 2 steals in 37 minutes before fouling out for Cade, boss. So what'd you see tonight from Deuce?
Yeah, for another kind of, he's been back to his old turnover ways a little bit.
A little sloppy.
Just a little bit this week, I would say.
Yeah, yep.
But he came out strong. He got the first basket. He was hitting his shots. 11 of 21, so that's 52%. And some of them, were shots that he was fouled on, didn't take well. And again, 0 from 3, which we really could have seen if some of those went in. Again, our 3-point shooting, it's not who we are. And again, we keep winning by scoring in the paint. But man, if some of those threes went in, it'd be a little bit, it'd have way more of a cushion. So missing those two free throws was rough as well, and the fouling out, but he was just, there to show, 2 steals, no blocks, but he's just been on one lately in terms of that. I think he played great. I think he did great. He got under Jalen Tyson's skin. Jalen Tyson is a guy that I really like to watch. He's always clutch in the fourth and at the end of games, which he was tonight.
Isn't he leading the league in 3-point percentage?
I think he's second and third. Him and Merrill are second and third, I believe.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes,
but he's second-year player, first-year player, something like that. I can't remember.
I think he's like second or third. I think he's like a Jenkins story. I don't know his whole backstory, to be honest.
Gotcha.
But it's his first chance in the NBA this year, and I do like him. And he was getting under his skin. And he was being kind of annoying, but it's just that young guy. I see a little bit of Ron in him, the way that he can get emotional. But I like that Tobias didn't let that deter him. Tobias kept calling for the ball late in the game when Jalen Tyson was on him. So Cade got under his skin, and for good reason. I mean, he's a good defender, and Cade was still able to get the shots and passes off around him. Cade had a much better shooting game tonight, but he played a lot of minutes. And this team, for these teams that we played this week, have exhausted us. And we haven't had to travel and stuff. And yes, we're gonna have to play a 7-game series where it's the same team over and over again, and you will be tired.
Yep.
But there's nothing about Cade's game today that makes me worried about his performances or anything. I think it's just trying to be the leader on a team when we haven't had an easy matchup this week. So
we had a gauntlet this week, guys. We've been at home, but between the Spurs, the Thunder, and the Cavs, regardless of who's playing, it was tough. Alan says, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. Yes, sir. Shout out to the going to work boys. That was their mantra. That was their mantra, man. But even those guys realize the importance of, not trying to turn it on at the end of the game. They did, it's funny. They did that the first couple years, like 01, 02, 02, 03. They would kind of say, the thing about us, we can flip the switch. But you saw that change, 2003, 2004. They started really trying to play from the start. Yeah. But I agree. If it ain't rough, it ain't right. Detroit versus everybody. You know what it is, Alan. But I definitely agree. It's definitely a game that was not pretty. Not pretty by any account, by all accounts. Boss, I want to give you my thoughts on Cade. I thought early he was really sharp. Early. He balanced his own offense with finding other guys. I thought he did a really good job of balancing that out. It kind of reminds me, and somebody said it in the comments, that PD Mac said it. You got a modern day Penny and Shaq. I was thinking about that just today, bro. Just today I was thinking about that because I feel like JD is a modern day Shaq as far as how the game is played now, as far as a big man. And Cade is the modern day Penny. Like, he's a big point guard who can do a little bit of everything. Penny was a great defender. Penny was a good facilitator, good scorer. He just did everything. He was a really good player. Great floor leader, just knew how to play the game, table setter, all that stuff. So I agree with you there, PD Mac. For me with Cade, I thought he was good. I liked how he was trying to take advantage of Dennis Schroeder, who was the starter tonight, because Schroeder's not big enough. He's not big enough to guard him, right? And you saw Cade in the game early trying to punish him in the post, getting the and-one here and there. So I thought he took advantage of his size. And he did a good job also, whenever we could, trying to push the pace. I think tonight we had 12 fast break points, not a ton. But we saw Cade as much as he could trying to push the ball. I think he let a one-man break in the third quarter where he just grabbed the board and push. and took it coast to coast. He's fast, guys. Like everybody says, he's not athletic, all this different stuff. He can't jump out the building. North and South, he's fast. He's got some he's got some nitro to him for sure. So I liked how he pushed the ball, taking it coast to coast all the way to the rim for a dunk. Like he just really tried to encourage the way we want to play off of missed shots for sure. So he did foul out late in the fourth quarter. His guys picked him up. It was I didn't know how it was going to go when he fouled out. I didn't know how that was going to play out. Like I'm confident in Danis, for sure, but I thought it would be hard considering how much we were struggling already to be able to try to win this game without him. But once again, his guys they pulled him up.
For me, like some of these bench guys have like the clutch gene in them. Like I wasn't worried when he fouled out. I was just like, okay, now's the time for those clutch genes to come out. And that's kind of what it was. Like we've seen Ron take over games. We've seen Danis do it. We've even seen Sass do it. Like we've seen these guys come out and do that. So I think that definitely contributed to some of Danis's decisions, knowing that he's the one now. And that's honestly when he needed to, shine the most for this team, he did. So, but I agree. And some people are saying that, I saw a couple comments about Cade's, he needs to be more disciplined with fouls. And there were a couple, like he did get pulled out early because of foul trouble, but he needed a break anyways. Yeah. He's the kind of guy who does get into foul trouble and can play with 4 or 5 fouls, but he very rarely fouls out. So I'm not going to get mad about it from him because he can get, 3-4 fouls in a half and not foul again. He is usually pretty good at that. So, he's a guard that plays 2 ways and he plays aggressive. So
that's a great point too, though, boss, because it's not like he's a lazy defender or he doesn't try hard and that's why he doesn't pick up fouls. Like he's a very active defender. He's trying to turn you over. He's trying to force you into bad shots. He's playing physical with you. So for him to not usually be in foul trouble says that he's a pretty disciplined defender as well. He's not just an aggressive guy. He's not picking up cheapies. Normally he's 3-4 in a game, something like that. So that's always a good sign. So I'm not concerned about the foul trouble tonight. Just one of those games for sure. But really quickly, okay, now we can keep moving. By the way, Fat Kism, my bad. Yeah, I got your name. I kept saying Fats Kim. It's Fat Kism. My bad, bro. Appreciate you. Really quick, today the MVP was it the update? Did they send the update today for the MVP ladder today?
Oh yeah, today.
Right. So Jokic is first.
No, Shay's.
My bad. Shay's first. You're right. Shay's first. Jokic is second, and Cade is third. Right. So
knock off Luka.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. So check this out. So I'm just gonna say this about Cade. We'll keep moving. Yeah. I was scrolling through IG today, boss. When I saw NBA had posted those rankings, and I was happy to see Cade finally surpassed Luka. They're late to the party, but they finally got it right. But here's the point for me, just to talk about Cade. That post to me showed, the post itself showed a highlight from each player. From the 3 players, it showed one highlight from each guy, right? For Joker, they showed the patented fadeaway 3 ball, right? For Shea, they showed his handle, right? His handle breaking guys down, getting to the midi. Then they showed, guess what his play was? A chase down block. And to me, that itself just tells. That's very telling because that's indicative of the bigger picture as far as to who these guys are as basketball players. Right? Cade is by far, in a way, the best 2-way player. And if we're being real, it's harder to find defensive highlights for Joker and Shea than it is for Cade. You could search anywhere for Cade highlights, and there's a good chance the first thing you see is a defensive play. So for me, that's the difference, and that's why Cade is the MVP. Is because he's a 2-way player. I think that you may have froze. His boss, you still with his boss? You gone?
You're frozen me. Yeah,
he's frozen over there. Let us know who's froze, y'all.
Frozen. I can only hear, but I'm not gonna say anything until you're done talking.
Say it again.
Frozen.
No, you definitely frozen. You might have to leave and come back or something because you.
It's not me.
You are
it's not me.
AF. Y'all let us know. They said we both frozen. All right. No. Hopefully we can clean it up. There we go. There we go. I think I see you now.
I can't see you still. You're very, very grainy.
All right. Hopefully it'll come back. But yeah, for me, that was what it was. It's just that, Cade is the best 2-way player. And the fact that they showed a defensive highlight making his case for MVP told me a lot. It's like, yeah, he deserves to be the best MVP because he gets done on both sides. So wanted to point that out, guys, on Cade. But I thought he played a pretty good game. Not his best, but good enough for us to get the dub. and thankfully his guys picked him up in the overtime period and got it done. So we'll
Absolutely.
get to that. We'll get to Fat Kism again. Says pretend everybody are the Knicks and we will win. That is hilarious. Right, pretty much. All right, guys, let's move along. Let's go to
Cool.
Duncan Robinson, boss.
Okay.
Let's see what he had to say. We good, Devin? All right, bet. All right,
Yeah,
so let's
you
go
totally came back. So
let's go to Duncan Robinson, guys. Tonight, Dunk had 8 points on 3 for 9 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3, 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 2 blocks in 34 hefty minutes, boss. Thoughts on Duncan tonight?
Duncan also fouled out, and it was kind of a blessing at the end. I wasn't understanding it. I thought maybe they brought him in because it was an offensive possession, but then we turned it over, and they were kind of waiting for a stoppage of play. But it kind of worked out because I wanted to see Asar as well. But yeah, 2 blocks. Good job, Dunk. I'm going to give you that. Yep. 3 of 9 overall, 2 of 8. The threes just were not falling. They fell in the second half. They fell in the second half. But the first half, they didn't. Well, because he hit a 3 in the third, and then he got 2 quick fouls to go up to 4, and then we had to sit him. So when he came back out, he hit his next 3, but then I think he missed a couple later on. But he played. They were switching a lot, and they were attacking him on defense, and he just did the best he could. There were a couple times that he even bothered Mobley. It was just kind of 50-50. Like he either, got a block, played good defense, or he was beat off the ball because he was the one that they wanted to target. So I think he did his best for being out there. But we talked about this before. Like if you're going to be out there for 34 minutes and we want you to, we want you to contribute. Of course, Duncan with 2 blocks and it's great, but he's not your mind goes to defense. That's not who you go to. The effort is there, but the great defender. So the fact that he couldn't really get his shot going and the shots weren't falling, I question why he played so long. But other than, him being attacked a little bit on defense, like he still played great and showed a lot of effort, and he was in it and he did his best for this team. But also when he went out, when they brought Sasser in and they were like, the announcers were like, now the spacing is going to be way off for Detroit. I was like, well, that's wrong. But that, I guess
they don't watch
the positive spin, they think that Dunk, they see that he brings good spacing, which he does. He moves off the ball really well and helps us there. But he had a couple bad shots tonight, and then even the good ones, the wide open ones weren't going through. But overall, he gave his effort, and he was getting beat, and that's why he got 6 fouls, because he was trying to make sure that nothing was easy. So I'll give him props for that. But hopefully, we definitely needed some more 3 shots to fall. Even if just 2 more fell, he'd be up to 14 points, and we would have, had a little bit. The 3 ball just hasn't been falling for him today. Usually 3 threes you're happy with someone, but for a guy like Dunk, we really need you to be in the 4 to 5 range. So
yeah, not a great game from Duncan. I think 34 minutes is way too much, especially when you got guys, who've played well in this game, who have helped encourage and ignite the style of play that we want to play, which is defense to offense, right? Especially since he wasn't knocking down shots. Like for me, if he's getting hunted and he's cold, I can't play him.
Yeah.
I can't play. You just can't, because he's really not giving you enough. So at that point, I got to go around. I got to go with Wu. I even got to go with Asar in that spot, because you're getting at least the defense, right? But if you're not getting out, that's why I like having 2-way players in my starting lineup, right? As many 2-way guys as possible to encourage our style of play. Everybody was, like we saw Schroeder. He kept getting switched on Schroeder. Basic switch. He just kept running the pick and roll, just getting him off of his guy, getting a switch. And and Schroeder's fast. Schroeder's a good player anyway. So the last thing I want is Duncan Robinson consistently getting switched on him, right? So with him not being able to make shots, and the effort was there. The effort has been there throughout the season. It's not even about the effort. It's just about the personnel. And to me, with a guy like Ron Holland, who's playing great and who's knocking down shots in this game, I got to have him in the game. I got to have him in the game more. It may shrink the floor a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're going to win this game on defense. We saw when Ron was in the game and we were down. The game didn't turn because we started hitting shots. The game turned because our defense got us out in transition, which is what we want to do first and foremost, always. So if Duncan can't hit shots and he's getting hunted, you got to sit down, bro. You got to sit down. So he didn't keep himself in the game. That for me, I'm like, JB has to make that change earlier for a defensive team. So that's all I got on Duncan. He just wasn't a good game. Bad matchup, bad shooting night. He just should have got pulled a little bit sooner, in my opinion.
Exactly. And it's nothing against Duncan, the player, either, because his effort is always there.
Of course.
Like he gives, and that's something that we've seen improve throughout the season and not go away. He gives effort. He doesn't get beat easy. Like he's still in front of his guy and they got to go around him. He's not struggling to get up there. He's not struggling to run and cover someone. It's nothing like that. He's just, and again, he also still being targeted so much, still was able to make some good defensive plays, like blocks, like knocking the ball out of hands.
The charge he took, gave his body up. So yeah.
He's still there, but I do agree that like it should have been at moments, it should have been someone else. And I think that maybe, he would have gotten a little bit hotter if we didn't have to pull him after 2 quick fouls too, after he hit his first 3 of the game in the third.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will always just appreciate the effort, Dunk. Like this is nothing against him personally, but it is just more like when you have guys like Ron and Wu on your bench and they're like, Wu only got 7 minutes. That doesn't make sense. Even 30 minutes is where we'd like to see Robinson. So for 4 more minutes, you could have had someone else in there contribute on defense. But again, I don't know what's going on in JV's head. I don't know if he's challenging these guys when it's against these teams because he probably is just like, no, you guys should be able to beat these teams without their stars. So I'm going to make. I can see that as a coaching strategy as well. So, but Dunk has been in a slight slump, but he has turned it on when we needed him to. He had some very crucial plays, and that one that got overturned in the challenge with Tyson.
Yeah,
that was because the Cavs were just lucky that they had a challenge that they were willing to use that late in a minute left, because you see grabbing like that constantly. Even the announcers called it like that's every play, every inbound play like that. You're going to see guys hold on to each other, and it just happened to be that they were able to challenge it and get it overturned. I wish it was just like not enough to get overturned, because I still think that Tyson pushed him down. But and Tyson was grabbing his jersey as well. But we still won despite that. But that would have been, if not for the challenge, if it wasn't overturned, that would have been another huge Duncan moment too.
True. That's true. Yeah. So he tried. He gave effort. I just kept seeing us have to rotate too. It was a lot of rotations we had to make tonight, and it's tough to continue to have to rely on your defense to make the right rotation every single time down the court. Not every time, to be fair, but often down the court. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense to continuously have to do that instead of being able to play straight up. So you guys get it. But we'll leave it there, guys, on Duncan Robinson. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Asar Thompson in this game, boss. Asar Thompson, guys, finished with 18 points, 7 for 10 from the field, 4 or 6 from the free throw line, 8 boards, 5 assists, only 1 turnover, great ratio, 2 steals and a block for 3 stocks in 36 minutes, boss. Man, take off on Asar Thompson.
Keep me updated on this, because they were up. The Nuggets were up by, I think, 6 going into the fourth.
Jokic and J-Dub scrap. Wow. Okay. I got to check that out.
I'm guessing J will, unless J-Dub came off the bench. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I think he means J-Dub. I think he means Jalen Williams.
Okay.
Shooting guard. We'll see. Go ahead.
Well, maybe not. But anyways.
No, he's a big, though, so you never know. That's interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah. Everyone's letting me know, Sarah Jokic.
Yeah, keep me posted. Keep us posted.
Anyways, Asar, what a great game from him. It's almost like, because I can see the belt going to JD, obviously, for his incredible performance late in the game, and overall, this is now his 3rd game with 14 or more rebounds, and he has a 30-15 game. That's so impressive. I can see it going to Jenkins because of his clutch shooting and his clutch moments. I can see it going to Asar because this was just an overall great game from Asar. This kind of game consistently from Asar on defense and offense.
Right.
It's incredible. Like,
this is the Asar we need.
Yep. Asar. Yeah. 35 minutes too is a lot. So I don't know, take away 4 of those points and 1 of those rebounds. I'm still happy with it, if he was playing close to the 30. But he looked great. He was attacking the basket with aggression. He was running right into Allen and Mobley. He was making shots from away from the basket. He was, getting to the rim, had a great block. Steals. 7 of 10 is just incredible as well. Still, there's still a little bit I'm not going to critique him too much, but I would love for him to dunk to go up with 2 hands sometimes. But he had 2 reverse layups or 2 like at least under the basket back put-ins. There was one where it looked like a reverse, but he was able to turn his body around and tap it in. And those went in nice. His touch was great tonight. He played incredibly. And again, like he was one of the guys that I was like, why is he not on the floor when Duncan fouled out? Or when Duncan was, and then Duncan fouled out and he came on and made an impact too. So fantastic game from Asar Thompson. I wish I could recall some more moments, but he was a bright light in the terrible game. Like, of course, impactful in the last 7 minutes to help us win and pull it out, but still was probably the best player for us besides KD throughout the whole game.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I definitely loved everything I saw from Asar Thompson.
So real quick, Doug says Sarah Jokic is fighting in the game. Joker and Dort. So
I was at the game.
But you know what that means? If he's fighting, he is going to be ineligible for MVP. Because he can't miss any more games if he gets suspended. If he gets a suspension for just one game, if he's fighting, he's getting suspended. If
it's a true fight, not like a scuffle.
They said he's fighting.
Well, we've had scuffles without suspensions. This one and just the Hornets one. Yeah, he is crazy. I was at the game where he ran down and hit Markieff Morris from the back. I was there.
He's wild. He may have eliminated himself from the MVP race because he could only miss one more game. We talked about that, boss.
I guess that's injury too.
So that's my whole point. I just thought about that when I saw, he's fighting. So we'll see. Okay, pushing mostly. Okay. So we'll see if he gets suspended, if he misses any time, he's done. And then it's a two-man race between Shea and Cade. So
no punches, only grabbing. Anybody kicked out? I know that Shea got a tech early in the game. I did see that.
These two teams are jockeying too. They know they're gonna see each other probably in the playoffs. Interesting stuff. Okay. All right, guys. Let me get to my thoughts on this. Sorry, because I agree with a lot of what you had to say. Early, it was a little bit of a struggle. I felt like a few times you mentioned it early, but like he was kind of leaving Sam Merrill a few times. I know he was probably doing it because there were breakdowns defensively and he had to, but he was kind of like, he wasn't attached to Sam Merrill, and Merrill hit a few threes early in this game. That's the only negative I have on Asar in this game. Yeah. His movement without the basketball in this game was great. And it was in the half court because we had to score a lot of time in the half court because they were knocking down so many shots. In the half court, he was moving very well without the basketball. You mentioned the finishing around the rim. He's getting better and better at that with either hand, left hand, right hand, left side, right side. I have always said I want to see him finishing plays as opposed to initiating plays. And he's getting better initiating now too as a secondary playmaker. But I always feel like he's at his best when he's a finisher, when he's moving, when he's cutting, when he's rolling, all those kind of things. And we saw Cade routinely finding him over and over and over again. It wasn't just him either. We saw the pick and roll. Cade get to JD at the free throw line and JD make the pass to the cutter. That's all right there. So he is a great finisher. And that's what I want to see him doing most offensively. Yeah. But defensively, he was great. He made plays all game defensively. He had the big plays, obviously, late where we got a score in the inbound. We turned him over. He turned over Schroeder in the backcourt, I think. Just major plays that we needed at the end of this game that we don't win if he doesn't make them. We don't win this game if he does not make those plays late. In that big block at the end of the game when the Schroeder was trying to get to the rim to finish before overtime, that was Asar with a huge block again. So that's why we call him Tasmanian Thompson. That's why we call him the backbone of the defense, because he just makes so many plays in so many different parts of the floor. He's active and he's just so effective everywhere. He's really a disruptor everywhere on the court. So I loved what I saw from Asar.
That's like the 5 assists to 1 turnovers too is awesome.
That's great.
I mean, so Cade had 7 assists, and then Tobias and Asar tied for the second most with 5. Yeah. So, I mean, again, he was kind of Mr. Everything out there. He's literally in every box score positively. And then, of course, only 3 fouls and 1 turnover. I will take that any day, especially 7 of 10 is fantastic. He played like he wanted to come out and show. And this whole week, ever since he got kind of benched, he's been playing a little bit better and a little bit more like, no, I know what I can do. And we needed his aggressiveness today. Even though I think there's still one more level for him to hit. I don't think this is what he's doing. It's great. And he hit those 2 big free throws after.
That's big.
After we both Cade and JD missed, and we were just trying to stay in it. He made both. And he has the worst percentage of the 3 of them. He also had very clutch key moments, like you said, those free throws, that block on Schroeder, that guy sprints up the court, and they did a great job not fouling him when that happened. Asar and Duran timed it perfectly. I thought it was a JD block at first, and then they did the replay.
I did too.
Asar had it clean from the top. It's like he reached down for the ball. Is how high he can get up.
He's an alien, bro. He don't make sense.
Yeah,
it don't make sense.
Fantastic game. So I think of course, without some of the heroics late in the game, like he would be who I would pick for. I mean, but that block was still clutch too. So I would not be surprised if he got the belt as well for just his overall performance and the crucial block.
So if you don't have any more thoughts on the side, let's get to the poll.
Okay.
For who you guys thought should get the belt tonight. So who do you guys think should get the belt? Boss, Jalen Duren coming in hot with 68%. Dennis Jenkins is at 25%.
Okay.
And then Cade and Asar at 4% apiece. So I'm surprised. I'm not mad. I'm surprised somebody said Dennis Jenkins. I thought they might go Asar. I would have went Dennis probably second and Asar third. But over the duration of the game, I understand how you can go Asar because he just made so many plays throughout. You know,
like we talked about, it was kind of just even for us like rose-colored glasses after the game ended because the last 7 minutes were amazing and everything before that was just bad. So I think if we take that out and by like Dana's but yeah, when you consider the clutch too, and I see why JD has it too. So, but I can see him keeping it. They did that to Cade 3 games in a row too. So we all gave it to JD last game as well for his performance, but he had clutch free throws, clutch a lot of Asar, Duren, and I mean Tobias even came up clutch with some shots and the steal. Like there are a lot of clutch plays, and I'm just happy that they fed off of each other for that as well. No one played. I remember in the live, someone was like, "No hero ball," and there's no hero ball on this team. Yeah, and that's great too. So
there's a reason why they're the most clutch team in the league with the highest win percentage in clutch situations. And tonight they got it done at the free throw line. And for a team this young to be the best clutch team in the NBA, it's scary. Despite the terrible shooting, despite the lack of execution, despite how lethargic they looked at times, they're finding creative ways to win games. Games are not supposed to win, right? Absolutely. So that's a major sign for a young and up and coming team to be playing like they're veterans over the course of a season. Best team in late game situations. So that's very impressive. Once they get older, if they're able to grow together, hopefully they will, they're going to be even better. And that's the scary part. So we'll see how it plays out. Horn or ejected fan. What's that about?
That for the belt. Should the Horn get it?
Right. I saw that fan. Wait, I saw that same fan who got ejected supposedly sitting down in the game later. In the front, on the court side. He was back in the seat.
Maybe he explained, and they were like, yeah, that's actually no big deal. Because, Dennis Schroeder would even tell JB what he said. So unless it was something really bad, I don't think you should heckle. But, like, if your heckle was actually pretty tame, but it happened to get under the skin of someone, then I'm like, okay, actually, calm down. So,
that's part of the game, bro. Yeah. And that's why home court exists. Horn was a real MVP. Maddie. Right, for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's keep it going, boss. Let's go to Uncle T in this game, Tobias Harris, guys. So in this game, Tobias Harris finished, guys, with 11 points on 5 for 13, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 boards, 5 assists for Tobias, and 6 steals is crazy. I did not realize he had 6 steals. That's insane. That's insane. In 37 hefty minutes, boss. What did you see from this game from Uncle T?
Tobias also had no turnovers, so I have to give him that as well because he's someone that we worry about sometimes. And he definitely had, with 6 steals, he had some breakaway opportunities where that could have gone bad. Yeah. But so we questioned during the live why he was in the clutch because, again, just like with Duncan, we're like, defense would maybe make more sense and with shooting because Brown was hitting threes tonight and Wu, we know, can always come in clutch too. Yep. But the 6 steals make sense. And then, of course, his shot that extended the lead for us that ended up winning us the game. JB has put Tobias in that position multiple times. He did it in the Nuggets game, Pistons Nuggets out here. He's done it a few times, and that's why. And Tobias, what was he overall? 5 of 13. Yeah, that's not great. That's not Tobias numbers. He doesn't usually put it up, but there are a lot of times that he definitely attacked the basket like he knew what he wanted. And it just happened to not fall. And then they fell when it was most important. Like twice he attacked Jalen Tyson. The one time it was off, but then the second time is when he got the shot for us. So um there's no reason why Tobias should be playing 37 minutes. But I understand, especially now that I see 6 steals, and he had that clutch basket. They had that steal to dunk, and then he to extend it to get us to overtime, right? Was or is that at the beginning of the overtime? I don't know, in that area. And then he had the
I think that was the ice the game. That shot he made at the end of the game, right? To ice it.
Yeah, but he also had a steal to dunk. And when was that?
Right. I think that was
the end of regulation. I think that was the beginning of overtime.
Either the end or the beginning of overtime. I can't remember.
Yeah. But so he did make clutch stuff, but he was getting beat on defense a lot, and it wasn't really even him. He just wasn't able to play that 5 spot for us. He had 5 rebounds tonight, which is like the lowest he's had since Stu has been out.
That's true.
I think that's also why he's been down there. He's been ready for that position, but they were just able to beat him there. He would stay in front of his guy pretty well, but then once they got past him, it was kind of a done deal. He wasn't able to like turn around and switch on people as quickly as we know Stu and Duran can. But just like I said with Dunk, the effort was there and it was out there, but he was another one that they were able to attack. But he's another guy that just came up super clutch for us at the end of the game.
Yeah. So for me, it's all about personnel. You talked about it. First of all, the 6 steals is incredible. That just shows the effort is there. That shows the effort is there, right? It's just more so a matchup thing.
Yeah.
He's when they got 2 bigs like that, it's hard for him. He's 6'8" on a good day, right? So he made the shot late in the game to put it away, and he's made some shots for us late in the clutch of games. The Denver game when Cade almost got the ball stolen from Murray and shot clock was running down on the ball. He said, "Hey, dump it down here. I got you," and got a bucket. So he's done that a few times this year. It's just for me, it's just like the clutch shots are important. But it's like, are the clutch shots needed if you have another guy in the game throughout the course of the game who can get stops for you? Is it a clutch game down the stretch if you've got a big in there who can help you get stops, help you get on transition? Is this a comfortable win if there's a Stu available for this game? Or, is it even a game down the stretch? So for me, it's just like, it's personnel. The effort for him is always there. It's just the fact that some teams he just really struggles with it because they're just so big. So like I think of the late game offensive rebound that he gave up when he was trying to box out and Tyson came over top and grabbed a board and they missed another free throw to give us a chance. Like that game, the game could have been over then. If they hit their free throws, the game is over. So once again, Stu is so great at holding teams to one shot. And with him, imagine how much better JD would be if he's playing alongside Stu. JD was great on both sides tonight, but having Stu there with him in the front court, especially against a team like this, so JD's not battling 2 bigs and Jarrett Allen and Mobley, it just makes it so much easier. So Tobias was great in the clutch. He was great in the half court. I'm just like, did we need to be in the half court? Would we have been in the half court situation if we had another guy who could help us get stops on the defensive side? So I'm going to give him credit where it's due. I'm just looking at the whole landscape of it and how we got to that point. And I still feel that had we had a guy like Stu starting or had him available, that the outcome wouldn't have been in doubt late in this game. Maybe probably wouldn't even need it overtime because we had guys playing, defense and matching up better with the front court.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with that. And I think that we don't see him play 37 minutes or even close when Stu is back against the Cavs on Tuesday. So like, I totally agree with you. And I think that even though it was questionable to us at the time, he was the right call late in the game. And just like JD, just like some of these other guys that just look tired, they pulled it all together in the end to make the big plays. And so but I do agree with you, of course. And he has been, like McLemore said too, I think he's playing too many minutes with Stu being out. He's been doing a lot of dirty work for us too. He has. Like boards have been so impressive. He's trying. And like you said, it's the effort. But against the Cavs, it just happened to be a target as well. But again, like a lot of these guys just kind of made up for it later to help us get the win. We don't get the win without some of his late crucial plays also. It's personnel, but it's also personnel that's available to us in this moment, and they were still able to get it done. So he definitely deserves, and he's going to play hard again on Sunday, and hopefully Stu can take a big chunk of minutes when he's back, and Tobias can rest a bit next week against these teams. But for what he's doing out there, I mean, 6 steals is just that's impressive, nuts. Man. And we don't have Ron and Boo on the floor, and of course we want them out there. But when I saw that, I understood a little bit more why he was out there. And also we know that he has been able to come up clutch for us with late baskets. So, and people have been doubling him. He's been
Mhm.
doubled on offense lately for us.
Yeah, he
So why?
has.
He's been doubled more than like Cade. It's kind of he was getting too smooth, too automatic with that turnaround shot, which we noticed
Yeah.
too.
They're
So
testing his ability to make the pass out of the double team. Is what they're
yeah,
doing.
and for still 5 assists. Again, that ties for second
Yep.
most of the game. So he was
No
able to get
turnovers,
that
right?
done as well, and no turnovers. So
Yeah.
that he had
So
the
did a good
best
job.
turnover ratio for our team tonight.
Right.
So good job, Tobias.
For sure.
And I'm glad, was able to, he got up for a dunk too at 30, playing already 32, 33 minutes. Like, that's to show any young guy, that's to show Asar, hey, you can do this too, buddy. You can go two
Right.
hands. If Tobias Harris can do it after playing almost a full game of basketball.
Right.
So,
Right. Doug says, Deuce, was a 7-game suspension worth it? Well, we're 5-1.
yeah, we're gonna
We're
find out.
5-1. I think I like now that we're still holding it down without him. I think it was because I think on one hand we're still winning games,
Mhm.
but then also it shows Stu how important he is to this team if he didn't know before, which I'm sure he did. But being able to he hasn't been out this long before for suspension, so I think this is the Spurs game. I'm sure he saw it right with a guy like Wemby, and then tonight I'm sure he saw it as well. So I think more than anything, it helps guys like B-Ball Paul, get opportunities. In the same way it helped guys like Peyton Watson when Jokic was out to get opportunities. I think that's good it's beneficial for later in the playoffs because those guys will have more experience and opportunities. But then too, like Stu will be able to learn from this.
Yeah.
He'll learn from this because he understands now, having been through this stretch, just how important he's going to be for us in the playoffs against a team like the Cavs we may see in the second round or the conference finals. It's going to be a struggle to beat them if we play them and he's not available. So I think more than anything, it's worth it because we're still winning and the learning lessons have been learned, hopefully. And now we can just kind of push forward. And then we see the glaring need for, in my opinion, to have him playing more with JD, even more so. So I think it was worth it.
Yeah, and it's something that Trajan said too, and JB has reiterated as well. But in the interview right after it happened, he just said, we understand why Stu did it. We're not upset with it.
Yeah.
But he knows it can't happen again.
Right.
So and that's going to be a test because I don't think the suspension goes towards like text or anything. I still think he has a couple more texts before he's suspended from a regular season game.
Okay.
So, but there's going to be guys. We're going to play.
Maybe this helped him, low-key.
If Ludor is under Jokic's skin, he can do the same to Stu. So like, which I did see that Ludor was ejected, and Jokic is still playing.
Okay.
I have to watch it because it was a flagrant 2, which means it was a bad foul for him. But anyways, I think that question will be answered in Stu's return because what I'm hoping is that Stu comes out ready to I hope he comes out ready to rock it and basically, give us, because he was coming off the bench after he started for JD, then he was coming off the bench or for Tobias and he started his numbers kind of went back down and I think he's ready to get back out there. Like if anything, this would getting him to go on and crash the boards and he's seeing his team struggle. So not only he's seeing his team win, but he's seeing his team struggle to do it. And he's seeing these missed rotations. Like if you know Stu, he just loves to watch film and he studies. So this is all going to be very interesting.
And then you mentioned the text, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He won't have gotten any text for sure for 7 games.
Yeah.
Because he's been out. So that's a good thing. And we'll make sure that he's healthy for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He'll be nice and fresh for the stretch run. We saw him kind of hobbling a little bit before he forgot he was even in any pain and ran that Miles Bridges, right? Mm-hmm. But this is good for him to be able to fully refresh mentally and physically, so that way he's healthy and available for us in the playoffs. So I think this is kind of a blessing in disguise because we're still winning, to be honest.
Yeah, and he loves rest. He always says that. I think the Pistons did a thing about like what's your hottest take, and he thinks that rest is the best thing for you. So he's getting plenty now, and he's going to be excited to come back. We're excited for him to come back, but like you said, Deuce, I think it's also just a huge plus for our bench guys to get more minutes, and we've also been able to see Tobias unlock his rebounds. We know he can, but he to me, it's just been showing, even though he had an offensive game tonight and was being attacked on defense at moments, these past 6 games with Stu gone, you've really seen Tobias step up as the vet on this team and fill in a position that we were lacking, like with boards off the glass.
So Tobias was admirable. Like that's the word I would use for him, admirable, because it wasn't like I'm mad at his play. He he brought what he could. He did everything he could, and he tried to be effective in any way possible, which is why you see those 6 steals. So it's more a personal thing for me. It's never an effort thing with me with Tobias or anything like that. It's not shade, nothing like that. I like Tobias here. I think he's a good player, serviceable player for his team. It's just the personnel, and you see it in games like this against big teams. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there, boss. On this game is lit. Y'all saying too. This Nuggets game is lit.
Yeah, and they just said Caruso hit 2 back-to-back threes to take the lead.
Wow.
Which was not good in the clutch this season, the Nuggets. Oh, but they just tied it up. Okay. Well, I can't watch.
Keep us posted. 107 up. All right, guys, let's go to Jalen Duren, boss. Tonight, JD, man, oh man. Guys, before coming into tonight's game, since the All-Star break, he's averaging 27 and 14 before tonight's game. 27 and 14, I think, at a block.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting. I just said hitch. Disgusting. And tonight, guys, he had 33 points on 11 for 19 shooting, 11 for 15 from the free throw line, which is good. Wow. 16 rebounds, which is great. 3 assists, no turnovers, 1 steal, 3 blocks, boss, for 4 stocks for JD in 42 minutes. 42 minutes. And the 42 was obviously because we went to overtime, right? So he played the most minutes on either team in this game, and we needed every single one of them. So, boss, I'm going to let you kick it off first. JD, holla at your boy.
That's crazy. I mean, just insane. And I've been you guys know that his defense has been something that I've kept an eye on. And tonight, maybe a slow start, but I can't remember it because he completely made up for it. He got all of his blocks in very, very crucial moments. Like, we saw him miss 2 free throws, and I was like, he's tired. He's just tired. And he missed another one, and then he hit one. Like, he split the next pair. And then the game gets down to crunch time and overtime, and he's suddenly awake, energized, not tired at all. Get 3 blocks. He got in front for a steal. Some of them even weren't blocks, but he was just disrupting and taking the ball away or knocking it to someone. Like, he guarded the paint like he was Isaiah Stewart. Like, Isaiah Stewart took over his body to guard the paint. Right. It was absolutely bonkers. Like, I have never seen him go up for so many clean blocks before. Also, real quick, because we talked about Tobias, I'm just thinking about crucial moments. The way Tobias played Mobley at the end of the game was beautiful. He did not.
I agree.
He didn't give any chance. Yeah. He did not touch anything on his body. Didn't closed out just enough to not be reckless. Like, great. Like, it was just perfect. But anyways, I just had to say that too. But JD, I mean, wow, to get to the line 15 times, too. Like, he missed two crucial ones, or 2 big ones. They weren't crucial yet, but then he hit the really crucial ones. So you cannot complain about 11 and 15. And to get to the line that many times, like, that's not even Cade numbers. Like, we don't see anybody on our team gets to the line that much. And that also just shows his aggressiveness. He really, early in the game, went at Allen, went at Mobley. I think it was just hard because he was tasked with Mobley during the game a good chunk. If they switched off and he had to guard him at the perimeter, and that's when he couldn't be at the rim for Allen or for defensive rebounds or things like that. But he just played the game of his life. And I am, at 22 years old, I am just so proud of him for these. This is when teams choke. This is when,
that's what we're
young
saying.
Guys choke. And he found it in himself, because again, he was tired. It looked like we were done. Like, and he turned it all the way on again, and just went crazy. Like, I'm just like, it's kind of like the montage of everything good he did in my head is just playing, so I can't even do like one specific thing, but it was unreal. It was beautiful. Good job, JD.
This may have been the best game I've seen JD play. Maybe the best game I've seen him play. Not even just the offense. We know he was on the boards. He was scoring at will. But on both sides of the ball, boss, he looked like a franchise guy tonight in this game himself, right? But he was incredible. Like, the way he was going at the Cavs bigs, not caring that they had 2 guys in there who were 7-footers. Because I always say, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, you put them guys together, and then you got JD, right? Jarrett Allen is a little stronger than Mobley, but he's not athletic enough. Mobley's athletic, but he's not as strong. JD is athletic and strong. He's both of those 2 guys put into one guy. So neither of those guys can guard him. They're either not strong enough or they're not quick enough, athletic enough. I just liked how he always seems to go at those guys. For whatever reason, he always seems to attack those guys. But I thought he was great in the paint, just scoring his point, just being active on the glass, second and third opportunity, just tapping the ball up, just all out effort. And then the midi game, I've talked about it before, boss. He reminds me, I think I see a lot of Jermaine O'Neal in him when he's catching the ball at the elbow, anywhere in the mid post, anywhere in that 10 to 15 foot area. If he can get that consistently like he showed tonight, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's a wrap. With everything else he can do already, because he can also take you off the dribble on his own. JB has said that he wants JD. He gives him one possession per quarter. He gives him one possession per quarter to go get it on your own. No, not the lob threat, not the roll. He said he gives JD one possession per quarter to go get it on his own to show what he can do, right? And I think he's just showing more and more of what he can do. His effort on the glass was elite. It was one play where the Pistons had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. Yeah. Before they score, he just couldn't put the ball in the hoop, and they finally did. But he had 3 of those 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in that. Like he was just fighting relentlessly in this game. And then the interior passing is great, is getting better as well. Finding his bounce passes, his vision, finding cutters out of the pick and roll, just processing what he's seeing on the court. He just did so many good things tonight. He did catch a poster from Evan Mobley, right? We got to call that out. He was a little out of position. But here's the thing about that. The thing about you mentioned the blocks and how you want to see more blocks from JD, just looking to attack and defend the paint. What do we all say about Isaiah Stewart? If he gets postered, what does that mean? He doesn't care about it.
Yeah, he just went up for it. Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't care about it, he's going to try to block every single one. JD's starting to do that more. We're seeing him start to contest more at the rim. He probably knows he has to because Stu's out, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from him as far as defensive, just protecting the rim. His interior defense has gotten so much better. It's been a while since I've said JD's had 3 blocks in the game.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been like he could have done more on defense, but he genuinely couldn't. Right. He was tasked with picking which big to guard in a moment, every possession. Him and Asar had to work that out. Him, Asar, and Tobias had to kind of work out where you're going to go. So they all came at crucial times. You can argue there's so many of these guys. We'll get to even Jenkins. We said about Tobias, like some of these big moments that they kind of lacked earlier in the game all came at very crucial times. And so you just can't let that go, because this is when a lot of people and teams and players crumble.
Exactly.
And there was there was a lot of doubt that we would pull it out. But then in overtime, even though we went up by 6 and then they cut it within 5, there wasn't really a lot of doubt, because they've shown us time and time again that any of these guys really can just kind of lock in, and we just had so many do it. I'm just really proud of a guy who had already played the majority of the game. Again, his bench big only played 11 minutes. I don't understand it, but Duren was the big to play this game, and he got it done. He did his job. He made that dunk off of the Jenkins, because Jenkins threw up the 3. JD got that dunk, and he got all the way back to make sure that the protection of the rim was there. And it's just, man, these guys are probably just exhausted. Like, he's going to feel this game tomorrow, kind of exhausted. Like the adrenaline from winning in overtime, I'm sure they're going to go home. He's going to wake up and his body's going to hurt.
Oh, he's going to feel it. It'll be worth it though, because he got a dub. He'd be all right. Yeah. But to your point, you don't feel that way if you're not giving that effort. Right. Kevin made a good point. Jermaine O'Neal didn't come into the league with that midi. He's right, guys. When he was with Portland Trailblazers, he was playing behind Rasheed Wallace, playing behind Brian Grant, playing behind Dale Davis, playing behind all these guys. Jermaine O'Neal wasn't even playing, but he didn't have the polished game yet at it, because he was young too, and he didn't have that midi either. In JD, guys, is only 22 years old, so that's why I'm saying I see so many similarities. So if he's able to consistently get to that midi, it's over. It's over. He may be that secondary guy. He may be the Robin to K. We don't know, but he's got the ability. But we talked about down the stretch. He did miss 2 free throws late. I do think he was tired, but you got to give me one of those. You got to give me at least one. You got to give me at least one, right? To his credit, he did hit 2 big ones that would be even more important late in the game. Boss was covering her eyes during the live watch back.
I always do. I do like this.
And I'm just like, this is good. This is how we learn about guys, about young players, about how they're progressing. when they're shooting terribly throughout the game, when they miss two, how do they bounce back in an even bigger moment with another opportunity? And he stepped up to the line and knocked them both down. That's that clutch stuff we're talking about. So that's big. That's big for him.
If he was focusing on the ones that he missed, he wouldn't have made it.
Exactly.
He went to the line fresh head. He wasn't thinking like, okay, like, well, I missed some other ones. I missed the last ones I took. Like, let's see if I can pull it. Like, no, he had to go to the line and have confidence in himself and not have that in the back of his head. He just continued to play the game and he didn't get stuck. That's what I could say about a lot of these guys. They didn't get stuck in what was going on with them throughout the game. They just played in the moment. So
yeah. And so, like I said, both sides, he was great. Even as far as you mentioned, he didn't get a ton of steals, but he was playing passing lanes great. He was playing that bounce pass out of pick and roll great. He was anticipating it coming, jumping ahead, and getting us out and running in the few times we could. So even defensively, as far as his reads and his timing, he's getting better there. He's so young. But boss, the biggest thing for me, he would not let us lose in overtime.
Nope.
Like you could see, he wasn't gonna. He put the team. He was like, backpack, come along for the ride. I got y'all on both sides. And to me, that's a great point too, McMurray. We said it before. He's replaced his candy, his Skittles, whatever, with grapes. He's eating better. He's eating cleaner. He's admitted to that. He didn't have the greatest eating habits. So he's always been this huge piece of clay that just needed to be molded. You saw the raw ability, and now we're seeing it. Last year, we talked about the mental part, how he was saying he's playing soft. Now he's upped his play. Now we're seeing the physical part as far as how he's eating. Like he's just doing everything he's supposed to do to put himself in position to be at his very best, much like Isaiah Stewart, right? So I just like how he's committing to the process, committing to what it means to be a superstar player at some point, because you got to do both things mentally and physically to get there, and he's doing it.
And that commitment, you guys know, you can eat healthy for a few weeks and feel better, but if you go back to your old weight, like this, what he's doing now is just going to be progress for later too. Like his conditioning now is already stellar. Like Macklemore said here too, 42 minutes just tells you a lot about what his body is and his conditioning and even his mental conditioning that he's going to have to do. And so all the healthier habits that he's picking up now too, the habits that he wants to utilize to become his best version, it doesn't happen overnight. So it doesn't happen over weeks. It doesn't happen over months. It happens
over years even.
So, and so he's starting now. And so we'll see more. We'll just continue to see him improve and grow. And it's a contract year for him. We don't know if he'll get the max, but he's not, there's no kind of case against it at this moment.
He's doing this, man. I don't want to hear well, what if he gets in, he gets nah, bro. No, I'm not trying to hear that.
The way he is with K too, how young he is, like money is motivation, but like they want the trophy. And again, they're a young team. Them and the Spurs would actually make history if they won the finals, because no one with new all-stars that don't have any playoff experience wins playoff series like us and the Spurs do have ever won the finals. So that'd be historic. So, and not saying it's not possible, but it would be historic. But but our window is just opening and we can be a dominant, team going forward. So they're focusing on their game now. They focus game by game. They're focusing on the now while also making sure that they're taking care of themselves for the future, because they understand where the position they are in the league right now and what can happen in these next few years. So they just want to they continue to grow. And I've said this before, there's bigs, there's guys like Ayton, Hayes, there's guys like, Chet, I kind of go back and forth on, but there's big guys that I'm just kind of like, are you trying to grow more? Are you trying to play better? Or are you just content in who you are? And Duren continues to show us that he wants to continue to grow. And he's 22, so he has some lapses. He makes some mistakes sometimes. He's not going to have perfect games every time. He didn't even tonight. But he wants to do better for himself and his team.
And that's why I, at the beginning of the year, guys, said that I thought he was going to be an all-star. Because he finally had a coach. He finally had a coach who really took the time to invest into him at the NBA level. He said that a few months ago, that JB Bickerstaff is the first coach to ever sit me down and say, hey, we're going to put a plan together to help you develop your game. He spent time with him one-on-one over the summer, and he's continued to do so throughout the season. Nobody else did that for him.
Yeah.
So credit needs to be given to coach, like Kevin says. We nitpick the rotations, that's fair. But as far as helping to develop this guy, JB Bickerstaff, the coaching staff, Patapin Co, Jarrett Jack, Luke Walton, all these guys deserve credit for just investing to their young guy, not giving up on this young guy who hasn't really been developed yet. So JB deserves a lot of credit for that, boss, for sure.
And I want to point it out that he played a team that thought that his style of coaching and his rotations didn't fit them, and we beat that team tonight.
Right.
And it's a team that is, had to bring in another all-star to even try to continue to contend in this league this year. And people, I heard it from fans too. Oh, you guys know the JB rotations. But where was it? I was looking for it. Okay, maybe it was just on that last one. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, with Kevin. That's what I was reading. But for turning these guys into winners, he challenges these guys to play and get the job done. And does it work every time? No. And that's probably why some of the Cavs guys are saying, like, with JB's rotations, even us tonight, we question his rotations. But in the end, it won us the game that we didn't think was winnable. Yep. He knows them enough to know what they're capable of. And if you were any other coach, you might see that JD's tired and sub him out and bring in Paul Reed to finish the game off. But no, JB understood that JD can turn it on and play through it. He knows his guys just as much as his guys enjoy his style of coaching.
Yep. So. I agree. A few more comments. Blackheart says, Duran outscored Wemby. Wemby can make threes and play more minutes. And that's the thing, too. I'm glad that, like, even though he could have played better against the Spurs, he didn't roll over. I've seen Chet roll over when he's played against Wemby.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chet, like, JD had 25 and 14 against Wemby. He could have been better defensively, sure, whatever. But he's still going to step up to the challenge. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about him. And then C. Menard says, Duran is still a bully Cavs bigs if we match up in the playoffs. Yes, bro. 100%. I totally agree with this. Totally agree with this. And hopefully we see that switch at some point. But yeah, that's all I got on JD, boss. I mean, for me, in that overtime period, he earned some respect, even more respect from me. Yeah. Because he said, okay, everybody's afraid. It's kind of like if you guys have seen, remember the Titans? If you guys remember when the initial quarterback for the Titans got hurt, he broke his hand. Yeah. And then they had Sunshine coming to the game. And he's like, why y'all heads down? Hey, I'm who? I got this. Y'all just chill. Get on my back. I got y'all. That's what JD did in this game. You could sense he just said, I'm the number one guy. I'm the captain now. Listen, look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I got it. Just chill. I'm going to take care of this on both sides of the ball. We're not losing this game. That's what he did tonight. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. A lot of credit.
I know that this doesn't apply to your metaphor and your example, but that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And that's when he goes like, let him through. Let him through.
Oh yeah, let him through. Let him. He's like, what? He's like, just trust me. Let him through.
I love that movie. I could go.
And then we saw what happened after that, right?
Yeah.
Flipped him over, had him on his back. Yeah. Yeah. But that was how I felt with JD. It's like he's not always gonna have to be that guy, but if he needs to be, he's showing more and more that he can be. And for him to be this young, yeah. If I'm Trajan, I'm giving him the max deal, bro. I'm giving him the max deal. I'm not thinking twice because his ceiling is so high. And with him wanting to play with K for his coach, you told me this earlier. You said it earlier, boss.
Yeah.
If he wants to play with K this entire career, like he said, he's not going to be able to slack off.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to just chill and to not bring it every game. So if that's what he really wants, and I'm sure he does, I'm sure they're going to keep each other motivated. And I don't see JD's a guy who, when he gets the money, he's going to chill. Nah, he wants to win a championship, bro. He wants to be remembered as one of the greats.
Yep.
And he knows he can be. Go ahead.
Cade is a perfect example. Like, it's funny, like Cade could be considered his vet. I mean, they're really close in age, so probably not only like 2 years apart. But Cade has always he's always been very conscious of what he puts into his body and what he's vegan. He's very conscious. And JD making this switch, I'm sure that Cade had some influence on him too, because that's kind of where like Cade won't slack off in any area. And I don't see JD doing that either when he has a leader and more like a partner in Cade. So yes.
Yeah. It's a great game from JD, man. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing him the rest of the year. And hopefully he keeps it up. I'm confident that he will. So we'll leave it there, guys, on our go ahead.
I have to take my break real quick. I'll be right back.
Do your thing. Let's check some comments real quick. Let's see what we got. It'll be great if guys blow up this team so we can acquire Mobley at the 4. I don't even want Mobley, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm good on Mobley, man. He's probably gonna ask for too much money. Like, he's a good player. I don't want no Cavaliers on my team, bro. I don't know. I'm good on Mobley right now, but he's a good player. I'll leave it there. Let's see. I wanted Mobley ever since draft him and him played in the rookie. I mean, I like him. I don't know. Maybe I'm hating. I don't know. That's why I say he's the secondary. Okay, Chris, I hear you on that. Because like he's showing more and more too that his his offensive game is not completely reliant on Cade, as I think many thought. Because Cade just talked about this. He said, like, teams are scouting the pick and roll game. So me and JD are finding ways outside of that how we can be effective. We're finding ways outside of that we can still have a well-oiled machine offensively. So they're aware of that, and I think that's why JD is getting more opportunities to show what he can do. But the thing for me is that, like, early on last year, JD was so focused last year, guys, on his offense, because he knew he could do a lot more than just be a rim protector, a rim runner, and a rebounding machine who's opportunistic on offense. He knew he could be more than that, and he wanted to show that. But JB's like, nah, bro, you're not going to play unless you're playing defense. So I think it just took JD some time to settle in mentally to the fact that, let me do this first. This is what they need, and then I'll get my chances offensively. That's why JB Bickerstaff is allowing him and saying, bro, 1 possession per quarter. Go get it yourself, because he's earned it. Because defensively, JB wouldn't say that to him if he wasn't playing defense, right? So that just tells you a lot about JD and what he's doing and the effort he's given defensively. And now, Chris, he looks like he may be able at some point. I don't think he's there yet consistently, but I think he's getting closer and closer to being the guy we need to be that secondary guy. So we'll see. We'll see. So exactly, Alan, about 40% of Duran's buckets are self-created. Yeah, so he's showing more and more what he can do on his own, and that's a good sign too. So, yeah, he unlocked him, Macklemore. All right, guys, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Let's go to some bench guys, boss. Let's start with Danis Jenkins. Tank in this game, right? Guys, tonight, Danis Jenkins finished with 8 points. He didn't shoot well at all, man. 2 for 10. Wow, I didn't realize he shot that bad. 1 for 3 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 1 board, 1 assist, and 1 turnover in 19 minutes, boss. What did you see from Chink in this game?
Yeah, we didn't see him at all in like the third. They brought in Stats because I was like, 19 seems kind of low, but when he was out there, you did notice him, even though, yeah, he didn't shoot well. But the shots that he did make mattered when he made like the most. Like he had a 3 late, and then also once again forced the game into overtime with the 3-point play. He did it at the beginning of the year. He did it tonight by making all of his free throws. Like that was the most impressive thing to me, because superstars can't make 3 free throws in a row. Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, like
twice,
Jenkins,
right?
Yeah, and Jenkins has been in the position before where he's had to make clutch free throws for us, and he delivers every time. But this was, I mean, I couldn't believe it. That was when I was most nervous the whole game, because I didn't want it to fall. I didn't want a loss to fall on his shoulders in a moment like that. But he just continued to prove himself. He had that huge block at the end of the game that ended up being a challenge that you could barely see. Because at first it looked like, oh, he got him on the wrist. Then it looked like, oh, he lost control of the ball, so maybe they'll overturn it because he didn't have possession when that was it. And then they replayed it again, and you just saw Danis's fingertips hit the ball. And that's what you're right. Control and get that. So that was huge. He had a couple big just like getting the ball off the court at crucial moments. He flew up to make sure that they have a chance to take it.
Yep.
Yeah, not a good shooting night, but just came up super clutch when he was called upon, and it's really, truly all you can ask. And it's definitely something that he needed. He hasn't been playing to the level that we know he can, despite the effort and despite the minutes. Like he never gives up, and he continues to try. His shots haven't been falling. His assists have been a little low, but he definitely needed tonight, and to have an off few games, and then deliver like that to help us win the game. We don't win the game without him on the court. So I'm super, super proud of Danis. Just excited for him. He was pumped up. You could see but before it's like right as the star blocked the shot, the first one to jump up and get excited about overtime was Danis. And that's kind of when I knew, I was like, okay, I think we're good without Cade, because Danis wants this and he can control it well as well. For some reason, they ran a couple plays where they wanted Sass to be main ball handler, which he has done in the past for us. But again, just like LeVert, like he's better than LeVert at that, but he works better off ball. And I think they're just trying to get Jenkins some movement. They just kind of took advantage of Sass when he was the main ball handler tonight. But otherwise, I think Jenkins would have maybe added a couple more points or an assist to his stat line. But very, very proud of him and excited for him. And I hope that this momentum carries forward, and then he kind of is out of his little slump. We even talked about his slump in the live show, and then he did this. He basically won the game for us. So
yeah, I mean, you mentioned how it's a little bit different down the stretch, right?
Mhm.
Being able to knock down free throws, we've seen it,
Mhm.
and it happens to everybody at some point. Maybe not at the free throw line, but on the court, it happens to everybody. I mean, we talked about it last show with Kobe missing the threes, the 3 air balls at the end of the game, right? All those guys, everybody has their moment like that. Ron missed one last year, and we could have tied the game. It happens to everybody. And
Against the Bucks, yeah.
Vashawn even mentioned Cade. He made 2 and missed the last one against the Celtics, right? So that was his moment, right? So, but ever since he's been really, really good, right, in the clutch.
Yeah.
This year he's been great in the clutch. But it happens to everybody. But to be fair, to be honest, boss, what was my demeanor when he got fouled? We were down 3 and he was at the free throw
You were
line.
good. You felt good.
I was chilling, bro.
You're like, we got it. You're like, oh, they gave him a 3. We're good. And I know that deep down, but like I would have said the same thing about Jamal Murray, you know. So you just never know. And
You're right. You never know. I was just confident that in that moment, this dude has always stayed ready. Like he's relished big moments. So he had a terrible shooting game, 20% overall for the game. But I knew in that moment he wasn't gonna miss any of those free throws. I just knew it, and I was confident he was gonna take advantage of that. Because he hadn't been to the line all night prior to those 3 free throws. He had not been to the line at all. So he stepped up and knocked them all down. And you mentioned this. This is the second time this year he has tied the game for us on a 3-point play. Right? The Wizards game from the corner, obviously, knocked down 3 overtime. Tonight, free throws, overtime. And you mentioned it too. The play to get us there is just as important. The heads-up play he made to put himself in position to shoot those free throws was just as important as the free throws. Because that's a risky play. You're down 3, you got 1 possession, it's about 10 seconds left, right? It's risk. You got to be brave to heave like that from half court when you got 1 shot. Because if they don't call that foul, everybody looking at you like, what are you doing?
Right.
So you got to know the foul's coming. You got to know they're trying to foul you to pitch you on the line so you can't get a 3. But you got to know they're going to foul you. He was confident they were going to foul him and was still able to get the shot off before they fouled him. Because if he didn't, it would have been 2 free throws. So the fact that he was confident enough to see them coming and that they would foul him and still get it off before they fouled is heads up as it gets.
Exactly.
Heads up as it gets. So
that's like
that play alone was huge. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but at first you think, what are you doing? We have time. Then you get the foul, and then you see that because usually on those they'll say no shot. I've seen Jokic do it a million times. Jokic is the king of trying to get the shooting call, but you think no shot, and then you see the replay. And you're like, that was clearly a shooting foul because he was in the air already in his form. He wasn't going up. He was in the air when Tyson caught him. Yep. And it's just incredible that he was able to predict that and understand that, because what if Tyson didn't foul him? What if Tyson was in control enough to not foul him? Then you're just like, Jenkins, what? But like, what
are you doing? They looking at you like, bro, just get the 2, right? And that's hindsight is like, get the 2.
Yeah. He just that to me is incredible IQ. I don't know how he predicted it. Macklemore, exactly. How do you predict that? Because yes, Jalen Tyson has been a little off. He was handsy tonight, all this stuff, but that play, if it wasn't called or if Tyson didn't end up fouling, it would have been everyone would have been mad at Jenkins. So what's up, Tom?
You know the Pistons won again.
Let's go.
What up, though, bro? What's going on? Yeah, so heads up play. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just it's like I said earlier about the clutch gene in some of these guys. Like that's like when Cade fouled out. I was like, when we've said it before, like, okay, it's Jenkins time. And just knowing that he still had off games, we know what he can do. And he also just showed that. He knows that he's had off games. He knew that tonight wasn't a great game for him. But the shots that he did make tonight all played in the last 7 minutes for us winning that basketball game.
Yeah. Short memory. Let it go. Move on. In the confidence. That's one thing Jeremy's always said he's had is confidence, right? Coach Hart's always said he's had confidence. Shout out to Coach Hart for putting him in position, having him mentally ready. So wasn't a great game overall, but great moments for us from Tink in this game. And that's why he's one of the candidates to get the belt, because he showed up in the clutch when it mattered the most. So shout out to him. Hopefully this can kind of help him get out of his shooting slump, because he missed a lot of shots he normally makes. Good looks, good shots, just wasn't falling, especially in the mid range. Like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah.
But he hit a three late to kind of help him get going, and that's what led to that play later, the free throws.
Well,
so yeah, I love it. Go ahead.
What got him going too was late in the game, he drove it to the basket knowing that Evan Mobley was right there, and he didn't get the shot off. He got blocked, but he was willing to be aggressive. He's like, no, I'm going to come out here and not make it easy. Like, I'm going to make it hard on everybody. So, and I think it just, just motivated him more again he saw that one fall, he get the free throws. He just looked, when I saw basically again at the end of regulation, and when I saw his excitement and his joy to get to that point, I kind of knew that he was going to continue to take this game over.
Yeah, for sure. Some guys just have it, man. Like this dude was in the G League, earlier this year, last year, undrafted, like big stage. You've seen him in big moments every time. We talk about the 3-ball against the Wizards, the half-court buzzer beater against the Sixers, the late play against the Bulls, to help with Cade to win the game. And tonight, he's had so many moments in a short period of time, late situations where he just is ready. Some guys mentally have that. Some guys shrink from that. My favorite player of all time, LeBron, he doesn't like to go to the free throw line late in games because there's something about that free throw line that he's just never been able to get over mentally, right? Yeah. But some guys love it. Some guys like Kobe, MJ, right? Some guys just love that situation, and they're excited to get the opportunity to show you that they love these moments and that they're going to show up, and he's one of those guys. So for him to do it in such a quick period of time without having the lights on him for his whole career and all this attention and being kind of under the radar and to show up, boom, in a big moment, I'm ready. That's huge. That's huge. So absolutely. I got to give him credit for that, man. Great stuff from my guy, Tink. Shout out to Coach Hart. Let's keep it going, boss. Let's go now to Karis LeVert, boss. Karis LeVert in this game. 1 point, 0 for 1 from the field, 1 for 2 for the free throw line, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, and 1 steal, boss, in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Karis LeVert, boss?
0 of 1. You gotta be shooting for us out there. Again, we'll say it again. His defense was good. Like he plays good defense. That's
I love it, Tom. Go ahead.
And so, but basically couldn't really get us anything on offense. His one shot that he took was bad. He didn't take any more. I'm kind of shocked at 0 for 1. He had a good assist, had a steal, played decent defense, but he did foul a 3-point shooter. Only fouled twice. And so the 17 minutes, the 16 and a half, like with that stat line is, warranted. I still think, Ron could have had more minutes and Wu, but they just put LeVert in to just kind of stay in front of the guy. And then we didn't see him again, which I think is kind of the biggest takeaway is that everyone's just saying like LeVert's JB's guy, is this guy, but JB knew who to put out there in the clutch moments and clutch time. So not like I always say, good defensively. I'm never worried about him on the defensive end. Yeah, but his turnovers were again dribbling too much a little bit, and then just not being able to get a shot off more than one is just not what we want to see from somebody when we're in a tight game. So that's
I agree with you. It's just I've said it before, but I feel like he's really the only guy where he doesn't seem to really have a consistent role to where he's doing the same thing every game, right? With all these other guys, even these bench guys, like what to expect when Ron comes in, what you're going to get. Giovante comes in, what you're going to get. Paul Reed comes in, what you're going to get. Tink Tongues comes in, not shooting the ball well, but what you're going to get.
Yeah.
With Karis, I don't feel like I ever really know what I'm going to get consistently. It's like he hasn't really found his place with this team offensively. Defensively, he's solid. Defensively, he reminds me a lot of THJ, but he's a little bit more athletic, a little bit taller, a little bit longer, a little bit more quick, maybe a little quicker. So defensively, I like it. But it's just he's 6'6", right? But it's just the offensive side. I don't really see him really doing anything to help us get into a flow, right? I still don't like when Danis is on the court. I don't like him initiating offense. They're running plays for him while Danis is on the weak side, just watching the play. I don't like that. Yeah. The shot and also I don't feel like he's taking enough attention away from our point guards. I don't feel like when he's playing with Cade, I don't see him taking attention away from Cade. I don't see guys kind of being more honest defensively because Karis is in the game and he might burn us if we double. Like I don't really see that. It's just more so like kind of nervous when he's got the ball in his hands. Like it may be a great play, then a bad play. Great play,
Right.
then a bad play. But it's never really consistent play from him. It's like he hasn't really found his role. And for a vet, that's a little concerning because you want your vets to be guys you can rely on, especially late in games. You want your vets to be guys who are not hurting you. They're not turning the ball over. They're not inconsistent with their play. And with Karras, I can't say any of those things really apply right now. So I'm a little worried about him going forward because I just don't see any consistency from game to game like we're going to need with guys who are playing their role in the playoffs.
Much like he was consistent, like we talked about, he was looking a little bit more consistent, at least. I'm not going to say to our expectations for what we had from the season, but looking more consistent since the All-Star break. And then he had a bad game against the Spurs, did a little better against, did a little better against the Thunder, and then a little bit more consistent. And then today, again, a little lack of consistency. But I'm going to say right now, I'm just not worried about it because I'd be worried about it if JB continued to play for him. I think our concerns are not that I think JB has had them, and he realizes that. But I think another thing for LeVert for me is like this is his former team. Like he's played for a couple teams, but like I remember him mostly for the Cavs. Like
his best days.
And want to show off. Go play against your team. Go play against go have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. That's how I feel. Like B-Ball Paul and the Sixers, you know?
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Play against Mobley and Allen and make them like, their game.
Yeah.
Go do it. But the Cavs look a little different since when he was on. Like if Mitchell was out there, Garland, was still on the team, like it'll be a little different. But you know 3 or 4 of those guys. You know Merrill. You know those. You know the big guys. Go use what you know against them. So not a great game from Caris LeVert, but I think that JB understood that as well. So in the 16 and a half minutes, that's what we got from him tonight. And everyone else was kind of off as well the whole game. So the last 7 minutes, and he wasn't a part of that comeback. So I can't state anything negative or positive about him in that sense. But for the whole game, he played like a lot of guys did, and it was kind of hit or miss. Good or bad.
We're about 55 games in, 58 games in at this point. I would have hoped by this point he would have had he'd be exhibiting some consistent play.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
And it just hasn't really happened. So now I'm like, are we going to see Herter soon? Right? Because one thing JB has said is that Herter is a really good player. He's a really good team player. Really good basketball player is what JB has recently said. JB said he has to do a good job of finding him minutes. He's got to do a better job of finding guys like Herter minutes. He said when guys are playing the way they're playing, it's hard sometimes. But he said it's on me to find him minutes. So to me, I won't say the writing's on the wall, but it may be the beginning. The dots may be on the wall. The connected dots may be on the wall now because it's like now we're seeing, Caris hasn't really been able to be consistent for us. So maybe now that Herter's been here for a few weeks, kind of learn the offense, the schemes on both sides. Maybe you give him a chance. Maybe you give him some run because he is a guy I think who can do a lot of the same things that Caris can do. Not the defender not quite the defender. I think he's close, but he's going to spread the floor. He can play make as well, and he can move without the basketball. So I'm just wondering, boss, if we're going to see a little bit of Kevin Herter more considering games like tonight from Caris LeVert.
Well, I brought that up a couple games ago. I don't know if it was against the Spurs or if it was before because Sass got the minutes again. Like he got very few minutes, and I was like, I think that's our answer to who he's going to play instead of LeVert is Sass or Herter. So I could see him right now testing out Sass because we still, we're getting closer to playoffs, but we still have a window to test some things out. So maybe he's testing out Sass, and then those minutes might go to Herter, and then we'll see, what happens. Yeah. Well, so maybe he's giving Sass the benefit of the doubt first because Sass has had back-to-back 18, 19-point games for us this season. He's been clutch for us the past few seasons that he's been on the team. We know what he can. Even his shots today were like so close. Like I feel like if he got 1 more 3, he would have gotten it in. They were in. Some of them were in and out.
Yep.
You can't rat on a guy too much who has not played at all. Just like if Herter was coming in, you couldn't be like, well. Yeah. And so I was happy to see Sass minutes. So maybe Herter will get some minutes too. But I also want to say, like, he had a big steal in clutch 3 in this last game with Chicago. Chicago actually hasn't won a game since they got rid of Herter, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah. They were winners in February. They did not win a game.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
And the last game they won was Herter's game winner. But
That's what I'm saying, man. I might have to give him a shot, bro.
we just
If
said
he gets
today,
Sacramento Kings Herder, if he's that guy,
yeah,
I'm sorry, man. He's got to be the backup shooting guard for
we
real. Go
saw.
ahead.
I saw a stat today that I sent to Deuce, and it was guys with the most pick sixes, and so in the NBA,
Right.
they classify a pick six as getting a steal and finishing the bucket on the other end, without giving the ball up, without any help, just kind of takeaway. Like Tobias had a pick six today.
Yep.
And I was like, there's a Piston on this list. There's a Piston actually number 1 on this list of pick sixes per percentage. It's not who you think it is.
The last guy I was expecting to see, I ain't gonna lie.
It's Kevin
I was
Herter.
like Asar, maybe Ron,
Cade,
Javante, Cade.
It's Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter
Crazy.
per 75 possessions leads the NBA in pick sixes.
That's crazy.
Which tells me that maybe his defense isn't fantastic, but that he can read a play, that he knows how to get in a passing lane. Because you can get a steal, but you need to be in a passing lane to get a pick six, is what I'm thinking. You got to
exactly
like that everyone else can get back on defense. So that also tells me, he's not like he's not a cone. He's not a cone. LeVert's not a cone either. No. But if you're getting
probably a little better, to be honest. Go ahead.
Yeah, LeVert's they're both. Yeah, LeVert's definitely better on defense. Like we talked about that. But if Herter's out there playing defense well enough to not even pick sixes, but stay in front of a guy or read the passing lanes well or understand where the ball is going, and then he can also make it. He hasn't been great with threes this year, but he has been very good in the mid range. We've seen him pull down rebounds, so we'll see. Herter was the last person I've never really been a fan of him since his downfall, his fall off a little bit, but that just showed me that he has a little bit more in his bag than I think we realize as Pistons fans, because he is known as a shooter. But to lead, to lead the league in that is kind of crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. I was not, when you sent me that, I'm like, no way. This gotta be AI. Gotta be AI, bro. No way.
I was like, there's a Piston on here and it's not gonna be who you think it is. And and then you're like, oh, maybe it's Woo. Maybe that's who it is.
That's what I thought it was. Him or Ron, the Grit Bulls, one of those two guys. That's what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Mecklemore says Herter has to play alongside Cater Jenkins because Cater's not right. I'm just thinking if Boss kind of hinted at it, like if Coach decides he wants to go in a different direction from Karras, it's probably going to be Sass in that role or Herter in that role. So that means that whoever that other guy is in that role is going to be playing with Cade or Danish Jenkins. So 100%, I would like to see how Jenkins looks with Herter. I think that'd be nice, to be honest. I think those guys will work off well with each other. So I hope we see it. We'll see. But I thought overall Karras was not great tonight. And we'll see this. We're going to learn too about coach. We're going to learn about which direction coach is going on based on who plays going forward. Because we all know this was a stinker for Karras. And he hasn't really played great as of late. So, and he's also said he wants to get Herter more minutes. So we'll see how it plays out. It'll be interesting. But we'll leave it there on Karras, guys. Let's go, Boss, to Ron Holland, man. Ron Holland, guys, tonight had 12 points on 4 for 6 overall, 2 or 3 from 3, guys. 2 or 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 turnover. You would think with all that he played a lot of minutes, right? Only 15. All that in 15 minutes. It's encouraging because it's like, wow, that's super efficient. But it's also like, why do you only play 15 minutes? You know what I mean? So, Boss, take off.
He's probably the most confusing one for me, other than maybe Wu. But like Ron, the most confusing one for why he didn't get more minutes. I'm not even talking about crunch time because I understand it because he's young. It's been the team. You want to keep the lineup that maybe got you there in, but like even just in the fourth.
Yeah.
Where was he? He was on the court a little bit with Asar and Wu together as well. We saw a little bit of 9 to 5. He was in the game early. He played most of his minutes were in the first half. So that's why I'm like, well, why? And that's why, again, I think that coach is challenging some of these guys. I think he really is because there's no reason to bench Asar for any particular reason other than, maybe sometimes coaches just get in the zone too and they don't, realize like who's in and who's not. But
I like the Larry Brown thing. Like if you're going to bench a guy, sit him down for a minute, let him think about it. All right, get back in there.
I was like, I don't think it was anything crazy. I do think if he was on the floor when Jalen Tyson was starting stuff, that would have ended badly. Because again, I think I see a little bit of Ron in Jalen
Ron
Tyson.
always ready.
Their emotions,
Yeah.
just in their emotions and how they play physical when they want to prove a point,
Yeah.
or if they're getting that leeway. But so I'm not going to go into the rotations again because the rotations still won the game. But if in 15 minutes, this is great by Ron. The 2 of 3 from threes, he hit his first one. The second one was way off. And then he hit his third one. They looked great. And we were just talking about how because somebody asked, I think within the live, that someone asked, do you think he's going to develop a 3-point shot? And we're like, yeah, he's already kind of on the way there. We've seen it. We see just a few games ago, we saw a 2 of 4. So that's 50%. Tonight, he shot 2 of 3. That's 67% from 3. Made both of his free throws. He had 1 turnover, 3 fouls. So I don't know if he came out for foul trouble and they just kind of, I don't know the reason. But also at the second most rebounds off the bench. And then 12 points in 15 minutes. No stocks, but I think if he had more minutes, he would have. He was definitely disruptive. He stayed in front of his guy. So for Ron's minutes, I give him props for what he did tonight. I'm very impressed by his confidence to shoot it and to make his free throws, and he did great.
Yeah, it felt like a Paul Reed game, where it's like he does so much in so little time, and it's like, why is he only playing this many minutes?
Yeah.
Right? That's how I felt watching Ron tonight. He did a great job on both sides of the ball, just being a hawk on defense. He was a little over aggressive at times, right? Trying to, got caught for some fouls, looked a cheapy or two, but I'm okay with that because he's going to bring the same intensity, and he's doing a really good job still of just getting downhill. King was on the show. He was saying, until the 3-ball comes around, just keep getting downhill. Like if the 3's there, take it. But if they're closing not too hard, man, get to the rim. And he's mixing it up now. He's doing both. We're seeing him, get to the rim, and also when it's there, take the shot. Because Cade is still looking for him. If you guys notice, Cade is still looking for him. That's how Cade is still making sure that he's infusing confidence in these guys. Because even if they're not shooting great, defense comes, the double comes, Cade is still going to find him. He still has confidence in him to knock down the shot. That's big. That's big. And it's reciprocal when he knocks it down because now Cade has more confidence in him next time. So the confidence, I like how they're kind of bouncing off each other as teammates. That's big. That's big for a young guy who's trying to work on his shot. For Cade to keep that confidence, he didn't look him off. He didn't try to take a shot in traffic with 2 guys on him. Made the right pass and he knocked it down. So I like the minimal progression we're seeing from Ron. It's not always going to be linear, where he just goes from 31% one month to 32% next month. No, it's gonna be peaks and valleys, right? But we're seeing now him getting over a mental hump. Another hump and another hump and another hump. And now he's just starting to show that he can knock it down consistently, at least through a few games. So I don't know why he didn't play more. I need him to play more. It was times in the fourth quarter where we had Duncan Robinson in the game. And I'm like, why isn't Ron in the game? Because Duncan is a spacer, all that. I get it. But Ron outshot him this game. So when Ron is rolling from 3, I want to play him as much as I can. Because now you're going to get 2-way play on both sides. So for him to not play late in the game when he's shooting the ball well and doing everything else he's doing defensively, I got to have him in the game. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. Go ahead.
When we went down by 13 in the second and got it back within 4 or 2, it was Wu, Ron, and Jenkins leading that charge.
Yep.
So that's why I just kind of have a feeling JB is just he's kind of not tinkering, but just our starters the past couple of games have been the ones to not start hot. We've been relying on our bench too much to come in and change the momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised if JB's like, no, you have to go win this. Go win this for us, because that's how it's going to be in the playoffs. Like you said during the live, we can't rely on our bench to keep coming in and saving the day. Of course, I think that more Wu, I definitely think that more Wu, more B-ball, and more Holland could have helped us this game.
Yeah.
But the fact that we had to play our starters so much, it feels more like a challenge, because that's when you're going to, if the Cavs were full health, it would be different. But if you're thinking the same thing we do, it'd be like, you guys should have this. This is without their 2 stars. You guys should be able to go against these players. Craig Porter Jr., Jalen Tyson, Proctor, guys should be able to go against these players and show them that you are NBA starters. 2 of you are NBA all-stars. Go get it done. So I that's kind of what it felt like more to me. Which, some people might argue is mean. That was the Thibodeau methods, but and I get it, but I can't say that that's what it is.
No,
But
no,
I'm
no.
not
I got you. I got you.
I'm not mad at that
I'm just
either.
I'm thinking like on the other side though. Like instead of saying, okay, these are the starters. Y'all got to get it done because y'all are the starters. How about just not play the guy? How about just play the guys who are playing well instead?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying? Like for me, it's more so that I hear what you're saying. Like y'all shouldn't be struggling a starting unit with these guys. But I've always said routinely, the second unit is a better defensive unit than the first unit. Just
Yeah.
personnel wise, we have more athletes. We're longer. We're quicker. We're faster. Tobias and Duncan versus Wu and Ron, like it's just better defenders. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm like the way I'm saying that and for me, I'm just instead of saying nah, Duncan, you're gonna keep playing because you're a starter. And for me, it's like you're gonna sit down because you're not good enough, and I'm gonna go with my. I'm hoping that's gonna encourage Duncan even more to bring it to knock down shots, those kind of things. So I'm like I'm rolling with the hot hand. I want to build confidence in these young guys. I want them
Yeah.
to see that I have confidence in them in big moments, even though
Yes.
they're not playing a lot. So I hear what you're saying. I'm more so like, I'm not,
But I think
it can't be tenure for me as far as like, well, they're starting, so they should, it's more
but
so like, go ahead, get in there.
I don't think that, but that's not how he's approached every game. It's this game. And this, again, the last game too, there were some people that was just like, why were these rotations? It's this game. And so I just think it's some of these like on TV, on national TV against squads that are depleted. I think it's just more of like a one-off challenge. I don't think this is how he's going to run the rest of the season. I absolutely do not believe that.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. Because we've had that argument about Duncan and Levert on the floor as well. Guys like that. Like it's like if you're not doing anything, like bring back in the people who are. So to me, it just feels like it was maybe a little bit of a one-off in terms of just like get it done. Unless, JB's also like, hey, we want you guys to play these, and maybe we'll see a ton of bench usage on Sunday.
Yeah.
He probably is tinkering, but he also, whatever the challenge was, worked, So, and it did actually come down to Jenkins off the bench clutch,
Mm-hmm.
and he did play Sasser in different moments. So I'm not sure why Ron wasn't in that way, but I don't think it's anything like, first of all, I don't think it's anything like the Asar benching against the Spurs.
No,
I
yeah.
don't think it's anything like JB being like, no, I think we have better guys out there or anything. I think it's just more like just challenging maybe not even full lineups, but individuals themselves to get some stuff done. So, but I could be way off with that as well. It could have just been like JB was just like, well, this is who's in and they got us back and we're going to roll with it for the rest of the game. But
Yeah.
Ron was someone, and Jenkins too, who didn't really play the third. Those were guys with Wu that I was like, but they helped us get back in it. So why not? So I don't understand the reasoning, but
it's hard to know for sure. Yeah, it's hard to know for sure. I want to get to this too. My dog, The Rock Never Stops. What's going on? Make sure you guys go follow him on YouTube, man. He's got some great Pistons content as well. What's going on, bro? Says JB decision to play Karras over Ron in the second half was upsetting. Yeah, like on both sides. Because honestly, it feels to me like I'm more comfortable right now with Ron secondary playmaking at times over Karras.
right.
Because Ron has showed the ability now. Year one, he had his blinders on. He was a great finisher, surprisingly good finisher in traffic, all that stuff. But this year, he's shown more ability to make plays, to kick out, to make the right pass when the defense breaks down, right? So to me, on both sides of the ball, I feel like Ron right now is just more conducive to what we're trying to do, right?
I
So
agree.
I don't know why why Karras outplayed him, especially when he 17 points, 1.17 minutes.
Yeah.
And Ron is playing well. The three ball is rolling. The confidence is sky high. He's giving you the defense, the pressure you want, like all these different things, encouraging when to play, as far as getting on and running. I don't know why he didn't play more, bro. Like to me, it's really confusing. Ron needs to get more minutes. He's got to get more minutes.
Agreed. But he did have a lot of minutes again on Monday too. But also Karras only played like a minute and a half more than him, and they were on the court a couple times together. So when you just look at these numbers, it was really just the starters, and I don't think any bench players took minutes from each other, sort of thing. I think most of the bench was out there together when they were, but I think it was just more, I don't know, something that JB wanted to see the starters out there doing their thing, because that's what you would think if you looked at the minutes. Again, like even Sass had more minutes than B-Ball Paul, so it doesn't translate super well, and we all know what B-Ball Paul can do. And we definitely could have utilized two big men. JD definitely could have had more breaks. So, it definitely just seemed like a starter heavy focus for JB. And it ended up being, Tobias and Asar both had, and Duran, all three of those guys both had really clutch moments late. And maybe that's what he wanted to be called upon. And then of course Jenkins as well. So maybe he was,
Yeah.
I don't know the
Like,
mindset.
honestly,
Maybe the starters knew that this was going to be a thing going in. Maybe they knew that he was like, you guys are playing as much as I want you to tonight. I don't know.
I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like the only thing holding Ron back potentially from being the starting 2 right now is his shooting.
Yeah.
I feel like if he was as a consistent stretch from 3-land, I could see him starting as the starting 2. It's just that Duncan is a superior shooter, and he has so much respect around the league, reputation-wise, for being able to spread the floor, that he has that role despite not being a great defender. They're kind of the opposite of each other as far as Ron and Dunk, right? So I just think if Ron is able to get to that point, I could see him eventually being that starting 2 if he's able to improve his 3 ball. So we'll see. I just know it some way, shape, or form. You got to get Ron in the game more. He's just too impactful, and his energy his game is just contagious. Not even just the guys between the lines, but with the crowd. You hear how the crowd just gets into the game, and he is infectious with the crowd. Like, he feeds off of them, they feed off of him, and then the players in the court feed off of all of it. So it just raises the whole floor of defensive play as a whole. So, like, just from the mental aspect of it, you got to get him more minutes, man. He just got to play more. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. Y'all know how I feel about Ron Holland. I think he's one of the better players on his team, and his ceiling is super high. So
I think it would have been more of not that, of course we want to play more, but I think it would have been more of a story if he was like really low compared to everyone else on the bench too. It was just truly, for some reason, for JB, he wanted a starter heavy game.
Could be. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green in this game, guys? Tonight, guys, Javonte Green finished with 2 points, 1 for 4 shooting, all 3 from 3. Been a little cold lately. 2 boards, 1 steal, and only 7 minutes, boss. So 7 minutes for Woo and 15 minutes for Ron in this game. Take off on Javonte. What'd you see from tonight?
Yeah, he pulled down some really big rebounds. He had that huge steal. His shots just weren't falling. I think he had like a nice was his shot a layup? Like, what was it that he made? Because
he had a breakaway layup.
Okay, breakaway
layup. Yep.
Okay. Because his threes weren't falling, and that might be a reason why you wouldn't see him. But he's done that before. I mean, also to take 3 threes in 7 minutes is a little bit unlike him. But maybe that's what JB was like, I need you to go out there and shoot. But 7 minutes doesn't make sense to me. We can analyze it all night. Who knows? Yeah. But in 7 minutes, of course, you would like to see one of his three go in. I heard someone I saw someone in the comments like way earlier say that he's been off with his threes. They returned last game. He's been a little bit hit or miss. Yeah. But he's also someone that like I wouldn't have mind seeing. He's the guy who closes game. We talk about this. He helped close out the OKC game too. If they brought him in the late, it wouldn't have bothered me much because he also kind of has the clutch gene. He tends to make his shots when we truly, really need them. Mm-hmm. And he plays great defense. That was another guy that I was like, why not bring him in for dunk too? Because we know that he can shoot threes if needed, but he can definitely get stops. But to have a basket, to have 2 rebounds and a steal in 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes is great. No turnovers, no fouls. So not a lot to comment on because it was only 7 minutes, but it feels like his minutes are being slowly cut a little bit lately. It's less and less. Yeah, it's just been like this week he's just played less and less, and I just don't want that to be a trend because I really do think that he brings obviously great basketball play, but great energy as well to the team. So
Mister, we got 2 all-stars on our team, coach. What up, though, Chris? We'll outscore LeVert with only around 1/3 of the minutes LeVert played. I'm not gonna make this a LeVert thing. I hear y'all. Y'all are right. I'm not about to crash out on Karras and use him as a whipping board for everybody else. But I don't know why he's only playing less than 10 minutes the last couple of games or 10 minutes the last few games. He wasn't. I think like it's a mental thing because sometimes when you miss a 3 and it comes back to you and you get another one and you miss that one too, it's like I have it tonight, that kind of thing. Because that's kind of how I felt with him. Not that he got shy, but it can kind of affect you a little bit confidence-wise. Even if you are like flush it down the toilet, keep playing. To get 2 back-to-back, normally you make one of those. Like when you miss the first one, it comes back to you. A lot of times guys won't even shoot it the second time because, the confidence ain't there. But when you shoot it the second time and it still doesn't fall, it's like, all right, maybe not, might not be my night. So that was kind of what I got with that. But aside from that, I didn't really see much. I mean, he was playing good defense. He stayed attached. rotated well, got out in transition whenever it was there. Just like we always say, boss, he does the things game to game to game that he usually does. The difference
Yeah.
is usually the shooting. A lot of
Yeah.
times people will kind of determine if you played well or not based on his 3-point percentage.
Mhm.
And you can't just look at that, because if he plays the same way in one game he's 1 for 4, in the other game he's 3 for 4, you can't say he played great versus he played bad just because he made 2 more threes. Like, how did he play on both sides of the basketball? And he's usually playing the same exact way on both sides of the ball. So when he doesn't shoot it well, the thing that he can't control, I'm not mad. I'm just worried about him only playing 7 minutes. Because to me, he's got to play more than that.
And 3 threes is like usually his game time total. That's why it's like to see that in less than 7 minutes is like they must have discussed it, ran plays for him. But I mean, 2 of them were back to back, like you said.
They were.
I just remembered his basket was he ripped down a huge defensive rebound or something. It disrupted.
Yeah, he did.
To get all the way back to help Cade have an outlet. And I just remember, this is, a vet. This isn't a young guy. He's spreading the court. And so the effort is always there. So again, it just seemed like he just, like the other bench guys, didn't really fit into the scheme that JB wanted towards the end of the game. But you can't judge, like he still contributed in a low amount of minutes. And I just hope that it's at least up to 12, 14 is honestly where I want to see him. 14, 15 is where
15, 16,
I know it's hard cutting it down, but our guys played a lot. Our stars played a lot of minutes tonight, and obviously, he could have had some minutes from other people, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a trend too. I think we'll see.
Not.
Yeah,
because he's been great all year. He's closed some games for us.
Yes,
and really made some huge plays in the clutch as a non-starter. So the trust, so maybe it is more so tinkering with things and just trying to see what other guys have. Because I think he has earned the trust of the coaching staff based on what he's done from the beginning of the season. He's been one of the most consistent players in his role throughout the season. So I can't see him having a bad game or two and just losing the trust based on what happened for the whole season. You know what I mean?
And that's like, you can say again, like JB needs to know these rotations. And he did get guys into play. And we never, had like a 15-point lead or anything like that. Never happened. So it's hard to be like, well, let's fix the problem. The end game is like JB's rotations won the game. When we truly did not think we were going to win.
That's true.
So it's just hard, because I get it, because we all want a lot of these guys where there's always someone every game that we're like, I wish he had more minutes. There's always someone, and there's a couple tonight. But whatever it was worked because it would be a different story if Jenkins and Wu and cut it down. So that's an argument. But we never went up by like double digits and then benched those guys for doing it. We were just trying to figure out what worked and what would work in the long run. In the long run, it worked. So
I mean, it worked out. It worked out. You could look at it as that was the right move because we won, or you could look at it as we won despite it. Right. We don't know.
That's
right.
Game too.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
close or not. That's every close. You can be like, well, I would have done this and I would have done this. It's all hindsight.
Yeah.
Everything. So because we are analyzing what happened, but it's all hindsight, and all we can say is, I like I said, I can't complain. I can question things. I can want more minutes for guys, but can't complain when it ended up getting us the dub in the end.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out, man, going forward. I would like to see some different things, though, going forward. We'll see if those adjustments are made. Coach knows more than we do, obviously, right? So I'm not going to, get too deep into that. It's just things that I'm seeing with my eye that just doesn't compute all the time, which is not going to.
That's all we know.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there, guys.
I was just going to say, we can only work with the information we have. We're not on the coaching staff, so we can, and we're not going to sit here and assume things. We can come up with scenarios like I think it's challenging guys. Other people may think it's for other reasons. We can never say for certain because we're not a part of the staff, but we're working and we're thinking and analyzing and talking to you guys based on what we saw ourselves.
And what you guys saw.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. Let's move on now, boss, to B-Ball Paul in this game. Paul Reed, guys, 4 points, 2 of 4 shooting overall, 0 of 1 from 3. 6 boards for B-Ball Paul, 1 assist and a steal in only 11 minutes. So what'd you see from B-Ball Paul? Not a ton of minutes, but still effective.
He had 3 fouls, but no turnovers. Good job, B-Ball. He's in the stocks. I love that. I love when we get our big guys and anyone that we rely on defense in the stock columns. 6 rebounds is huge. That's the 4th most of the game, most of the bench. I was shocked that he only played 11 minutes. Like, I know that
Yeah,
he was
I was
out
too.
there. I can't, but only 11 minutes. So again, I'm just kind of like, what? Especially when we were like, what's holding them back from playing,
Yeah,
to the 2 bigs together? But again, that makes me think it's nothing personal. It's just something going on. But in 11 minutes, 4 points. Let's see, he was 2 for 4, so it wasn't like he was missing anything crazy. I always love a b-ball Paul 3. Sometimes he can really get hot from there, so I wouldn't have minded that tonight. To have an assist, 6 boards, this is impressive to do when you're going against, a 2 big lineup. Guys like Thomas Bryant as well, who was having his fun tonight, his night. I'm just curious. So he had 8 boards. Brian did. I was just wondering. So solid show up from b-ball, and we know that he can do more, and he knows it too. So
I was surprised to see 11 minutes. We've seen him play more than that consistently since Stu's been out, just in general, regardless of the opponent, right? But in the game when you're playing against 2 bigs the entire game, whether it's Mobley and Allen together, whether it's Mobley and Bryant or Allen and Bryant, they always had 2 bigs in the game until those guys fouled out at the end of the game, until when JD fouled him out. Then he had to go with Tyson. But before that, for most of the game, 44, 45 minutes of the game, they had 2 bigs in the game the entire game. So I was just surprised that we didn't kind of fight fire with fire, already being down Stu, having Tolu Smith on the bench, who's proven to be serviceable. So that way you can kind of fight fire with fire, have more guys, 2 bigs in there who can help you hold them to one shot, cut off the second chance opportunities, get out in transition and run, just be able to battle with them, as opposed to JD trying to do it with Tobias going against 2 7-footers. To me, it would have made sense to go with Paul Reed. That's the only thing I'm kind of confused in this matchup specifically, why he hasn't played more, right? Because he's shown that he can get it done as a starter, as a backup, but playing alongside JD, I thought would have really helped. But once again, I don't know what JB's thinking. It was just a little bit confusing to me, considering the fact they took advantage of our lack of size. They took advantage of that. So I'm like, okay, they're continuously taking advantage. Why aren't we kind of shutting their water off and putting another guy in there who can kind of help for that? But we didn't see it, so I don't know.
It's like, or JD would be stuck on the perimeter guarding Mobley or somebody, and then there'd be they have an easy path to the basket, whether through passing or drives. And then my theory was that they just want to make sure there's no foul trouble, and so maybe we'll see that second half, and we didn't. He also, I want to say, for his 6 rebounds, the split was 4 offensive and 2 defensive. So I don't know if that played a role, but we needed offensive boards. We ended up finishing the game, guys, with 56 rebounds, and Cleveland had 41. So we definitely out-rebounded them late. But yeah, I don't know why, but B-ball always gives effort, and that was still apparent in there tonight. So gotta give him credit for that, and I just hope we get to see more of him. Because Stu is out one more game, so hopefully he gets more minutes on Sunday against the Magic, and we can see, more B-ball Paul shine, because he takes advantage of his opportunities.
Yeah, the right number stop says, considering how much Harris was struggling, I am shocked Paul Reed didn't play much more. Yeah, we were saying that earlier, bro. We always talk about Russ, helping the helper, right? We said all year. That's why I want to see Stu and JD play together, because Stu is a great job of helping the helper. He gets irritated when guys don't help him, right? When he's coming over to help, to contest at the rim because there's a breakdown and there's no backside help, and there's a dunk, a putback dunk or a putback layup, he's looking around like, where y'all at? Right? So I just felt that I saw that a lot tonight. Tobias just wasn't able to help the helper as much as we wanted. There just wasn't enough resistance at the rim. And so that was why, like you're saying, I would have liked to see Paul Reed in there just to be another big body, to be another guy who can help the helper. So that way JD isn't afraid to commit to the ball, knowing that he's got somebody behind him to back him up, which Paul Reed I thought could have done. So same thought, bro. I'm on the same page with you. Like we said, we don't know what JB's thinking. He's the coach for a reason. We're getting dubs. We'll see how it plays out. But those are some things that I am paying attention to. So I'm with you on that. All right, guys, let's move on to our last guy of the night, Marcus Splasher Sasser, boss. Tonight, Sass did not score in this game. He had 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, no free throws, a rebound, an assist, and 2 turnovers in 11 minutes. So not a great game, kind of a rough go for Sass. What'd you see from him in this game?
Look, I'm excited to see him, and I'm not going to be too hard on him because he really, out of everybody that played tonight, he gets the most inconsistent minutes. You don't know when he's coming in, and when he does come in, it's usually garbage time or the last 2 minutes of something. His shots were good shots that just didn't fall, so can't fault him for that. He pulled down a rebound right when he got in. The next play, he altered a shot at the rim. I don't know if it was Tyson or Proctor, but he made – he was the smallest guy on the floor, and he made him airball a shot because he was there to defend that. The turnovers were bad. He had a bad turnover with a minute left, and then the second turnover was the jump ball from picking up. I don't know what happened, but he picked up the ball way too early in the backcourt. It led to a jump ball.
Can't do
that. They ended up with possession, and luckily, we still were able to pull it out. But it was the Cavs ended up with possession. But that was unsasser-like. The first one was a pocket, and he's not a guy that turns the ball over. Like, he's known for his handles, and I don't know if it's just not being out there as much. But those aren't like Sass. Sasser is usually, I think, has great decision making. But also, we had Jenkins out there, and just like we critiqued LeVert for it too, like I want to see Sass as off ball. That's where he's the best. Or, him and Jenkins do have a good chemistry because they grew up together and they play well together. And we saw that. And when Jenkins made his shot, is that they were able to pass the ball to each other. But Jenkins should start with it, and then Marcus Sasser should be like, he doesn't have to necessarily, dribble the ball into anything and make a decision, but he can be, kind of in the middle of a hockey pass situation sort of thing. So I'm just excited we saw him. He had some big moments, like bringing down a defensive rebound, like altering a shot that could have put them up even more. And he had a nice assist to someone on the inside. But the turnovers definitely hurt. So I know he knows it too, but it would have been nice to see one of his shots go in as well, because they were close, and he is someone that can heat up like that. But they get this.
The offense wasn't there. Shots were good shots. A few of them just kind of rimmed out, right? All in rhythm, all Sass shots. Defensively, I thought he was good. He's going to bring that defensive intensity. It worked out to play him and Danis together tonight because the Cavs were not really deploying huge backcourt lineups. You had Porter Jr., the small point guard. Yeah, Sam Merrill is not a huge guard. So in situations like that, you can kind of get away with playing Danis and Sass together. I thought Sass got an opportunity because the offense was just kind of stuck in the mud offensively, which is when we said we thought he would play, not consistently, but in situations when we need a spark, when we're just really stuck in the mud and can't get anything going. And he got the opportunity. But tonight he just couldn't get it going offensively. The turnovers were more the biggest thing for me. And like you're saying, that's why he needs to play with a point guard. It's tough for him because we have shooting guards on this team. We've got 3 or 4 shooting guards on this team aside from him. And they're all bigger than him. And Trajan has said that he wants guys with defensive versatility, right? That's what he wants. And he also wants ball movement. Those are not things that Sass really brings. Sass is 6'1", 6'2", plays as big as he can. And he's also not really a mover without the basketball. He doesn't really encourage ball movement a lot. It's more so one-on-one. I'm going to break you down and get a bucket while everybody else is watching. That doesn't really encourage, I think, the style of play the Pistons want to play. That's why I don't think he's playing consistently. But I think in moments when it's like, give us something, microwave style, he can do it. But the turnovers, you can't have those. Like, just careless, leaving the ball and getting it spat away. You cannot pick up the basketball in the half court when a double team comes. You can't do that. That's a no-no. As a guard, as a point guard, though, as a point guard, you got to know you can't do that. But he's not a point guard. So it's hard to put him in that situation, in the late game situation against a good defensive team, and expect great things to happen every time. So I'm not gonna blame him for that. Like he could have made better decisions, but it was a tough spot to put him in that situation for sure.
I will say, because defensive versatility is something you mentioned before with him, and it's an area that we kind of disagree on. Just because you argue size, which is a valid argument, but he did today. I think he shut down Merrill. He stayed in front of his guy. Like I said,
he got to stop going underneath those screens, though. Well,
true, but the defense played good defense for the minutes that he was to make up for some of the mistakes. And he should know, as he's been in the league long enough. He's been our backup point guard before. He should know not to pick up the ball too. But that one closed on him fast. Like, I don't know if there was just miscommunication on the court, if, he thought that because no one was really near him. Everyone kind of pushed up the court when he picked it up. I don't know if he
Yeah,
was
they didn't come get him. They didn't come get him. Yeah,
and I don't know if anyone warned him that a double was coming. So I'm not blaming it all, because I don't know what happened. We don't know if that was said and stuff, but that is also kind of a bigger role of, like, if there was any kind of communication there. Don't want to fault him for that, but he still comes out with effort, and I definitely saw that on defense. I think it was Merrill or was someone that can shoot threes, and he really just did not let them get their shot off. He forced them.
Yeah, he played great D. Yeah.
And I've said this before, he plays really good. When a guy gets around him is when it's tough because of his size, but it's tough to get around him. And
stays in front.
Tyson, he's not Tyson or Craig Porter Jr., but I think it was Craig Porter Jr., he almost knocked it out. He went for the steal, but he did it in a smart way to where when he didn't get it, he was still right in front of his guy.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Wu, we've seen Tobias, we've seen some guys go for the steal and then miss it and they lose their guy.
4 on 5.
He went for the steal, and so he was still there. And so I do want to give credit his defense tonight, because he is a small defender, but I don't think his defense was an issue. It was just mostly the biggest. If he didn't make those turnovers, then there's nothing negative to say about Sass tonight, except that the shots didn't go in, but the turnovers. So yeah,
it's just the fact that it came so late in the game that makes it stand out. But I agree. I agree, because the shots is not always going to fall. Like we always say, control the controllables versus the uncontrollables.
And they stood out because, like I said, it's unsass. Like he has, I think, the best handles on the team. So he doesn't get his pocket picked like that. He doesn't pick up the ball. Like, he can go around these guys. It's Sass.
Yeah, he's got it on the string. He's usually got the ball on the string.
Right. So I think that's also why they're kind of a little glaring, because it's like, that's unlike him.
That's not, good point.
So maybe, it was just kind of a weird time to jump in, and maybe he didn't realize that because he came in for a little bit. I didn't think we'd see him again. We did see him again. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So I'm just wondering what's going to happen. We're going to find out what's going to happen with that backup shooting guard spot, right? Between Karras, Sass, Herter. It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out down the stretch, because I think you can make a case for any of those guys. Mm-hmm. But I just hope all those guys get the opportunity. Because I don't want to just say, give Sat, he plays this one game and he doesn't play well, now he's back on the bench for the next 5 guys. Like, I don't think that's fair either, because he hasn't played. He hasn't been able to play with these guys, get comfortable, get in the rhythm. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, guys. We'll leave it there on Sass. Okay, so guys, going forward really quickly, the Pistons, they go 2-1, right, on their 3-game homestand, which is good. It's good, right? And they'll be back on the road this Sunday when they take on the Orlando Magic. Boss, do you have any thoughts on this Orlando Magic Detroit Pistons matchup coming up on Sunday?
Gosh, the Magic were down. Their last game was, let me look it up real quick. Where are we? Was it last night's game? Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Oh yeah, the Magic were up pretty big on the Rockets, and the Rockets went on like a 30 or 28-2 run or 28-0 run or something crazy like that. To win the game. The Magic are definitely discombobulated. Banchero has not been the guy that we've seen lately, but he's had good games in that stretch and kind of lately as well. They've got Franz is injured. Bane really popped off for them. Bane is the one that I'm most worried about. He tends to play very well against us for some reason. This is another game that can get under skin. It's another game that I'm low-key glad that Stu is missing, because these guys, I remember Hamid Diallo. Was it Hamid that punched? Oh, no, or Hamid got punched, or Hamid did punch, or Killian punched Mo Wagner or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Killian. Yeah,
that's
punched him in the back. And then Hamid came over, and bumped him.
Yeah, Hamid came over and punched him. Whatever. So the Magic are a team that we've gone up and down. They're a team in our conference that for some reason we've always gone back and forth with them, win or lose. Based on how we played today, this Magic game should feel like a break against.
Yeah, I agree. It should win this game.
It should feel like a break, and we get back into rhythm and look more of like I'm hoping that we look more like ourselves with this Magic, because then after that we have the Cavs and OKC again. Stu will be back, but I against the Magic I predict a win. It's gonna be. They still have shooters. Anthony Black is hot for them.
He's a good player. That's who.
Wendell Carter
Go ahead.
has also been doing very good too, for them. So it will be interesting. But they don't scare me. We just can't we need to be making some more of our perimeters, and we can't let Desmond Bain have the game of his life, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Should be a game they win. It's funny, we don't hear any more K comparisons to Paolo like we did beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, Cavs and
saying,
Spurs.
who's better? You're not Thunder. Yeah, who's better? Paolo. That conversation is dead now. Nobody's even talking about that anymore, which is funny. Like other guys with K, right? But yeah, we should win that game for sure. I'm not expecting to lose that game. It's a road game. I still think we'll come out and win that game for sure. I wanted to get to, he said Desmond Bain is trouble. He's a good player. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. But I'm looking forward to that game. It should be a dub. And we'll get a chance, boss, to chill on the live watch games for a while. Because we did 3 straight games of watch parties and then followed by post games right after. So we get a chance to kind of recalibrate and relax as well. Really quick, Ross says, any update on the Middleton potential pickup? Not yet. So we know the deadline is Sunday for players to be waived and re-signed, who are waived to be re-signed to other teams. It's Sunday. So we've got about a day and a half for anything to shake out. Haven't heard anything yet, but I do think that's a move the Pistons should look at for sure. For many reasons, as you guys saw in my last video. Go ahead.
He hasn't been bought out, and he still has the option of staying with the Mavs. So we don't know for sure. But I'm guessing if he's getting bought out, it'll be tomorrow, and we'll have more of an idea. So he has a couple teams interested in him. So we'll see. Don't be disappointed if we don't get him, because we don't know what his goals are. But I think it could potentially really relieve some stress off of our offensive game. If he's just another guy that we could bring in to see if he's hot or not, in games.
Yeah, I think he could be more impactful than many may think.
Yeah,
I really do. So I will be a little disappointed if it doesn't happen. I'm not banking on it, but I will be kind of disappointed because I think he'd be a perfect fit for what we need right now, as we saw tonight. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And guys, make sure you're following Ross, guys. Right Never Stops. That's my guy. He's been on the show before, guys. He's been here before.
People are asking.
Ross has been with us before on the show. We're gonna have him on again in the future. We're gonna have a few panelists come on and talk basketball. Great dude. That's my guy. Knows basketball. So definitely we're gonna have him back on the show soon. Make sure you guys go follow him as well or subscribe to him as well. So definitely, guys. That's all I got, boss. Anything else?
Nope. Right. Thank you again, everybody that contributed to the Super Chat Foundation this month. We will add those up and be able to, give you guys a total of what we raised for Stu's Foundation. I'm so excited. Yeah. Probably something that we'll get to this weekend. So definitely appreciate you. Next time I see you guys, we will it will be on
Sunday.
Yeah. There's a thing in Greece. I think it's Kalomina, which means good month. So they say on the first day of every month. So we'll say Kalomina to that. It's like good luck on the month of March. And I know March Madness starts soon. That's when I honestly need to get into college basketball. I should just watch March Madness and figure out who these guys are. I'm like, I like that one. I'm like, yeah, that's the number 3 prospect. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
A Million says, bro, Pistons store has everything, bro. That's where I got my hat from. So yeah, go check that out, man. They got a lot of good stuff too, a lot of new stuff. I think they just dropped the K Cunningham All-Star jersey too, which I had to go grab. Guys, listen, man. Middleton's what JB thinks of. We'll leave it there, man. Listen, guys, it's been a great show, man. We are gonna get out of here. It's almost 3 hours in, and still a ton of you guys still here. So we appreciate you guys' support. We will show display everybody who made a donation. We will have a graphic for that to show you guys some love. And we're going to let Stu know, everybody here who contributed to this. So, he's going to be happy to hear this. We've been talking to him. He's really appreciative of guys' support and our support with this. So great stuff, man. Great community work we're doing here, guys. We appreciate all you guys' support, man. And shout out to Boss for thinking of this initiative to begin with, because this was her idea. So I got to give her some love for that. So we appreciate you guys for showing up, showing out as you guys always do, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And y'all know the drill, man. Have a great night. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Sunday. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, put the dog palm, mess around, find out, yeah. Put the dog palm, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.